lost. Vessel trapped in the sea. Chains holding my legs. I just wanna be free. This picking my bro. Hell yeah, they know it. Heritage keep going. You can see it in my phenotypes and that damn Indian showing. This knowledge keeping me steady. 45 on my hip and my armor man stay ready. I hit the streets in my Chevy. Blunt burning, smoke smoking heavy. Man, here you go, I got plenty. Prayers up for what's in it. In the land I lost in it. Cause every nigga ain't feeling. And every man ain't willing. No D-bows but spelling. No heroes for my family. Why the pigs killing us daily. Invader, this is for the invader. Invader, sitting on the invader. All praise to the most high. All praises to the most high. All praises to the most high. Give them all praises. Give them all praises. Invader, this is for the invader. Invader, sitting on the invader. All praises to the most high. All praises to the most high. All praises to the most high. Give them all praises. Give them all praises. Where the fuck you come from? Kidnapping our babies. 11 million abortions. Whole country is scorched. Ain't stealing my fortune. Bitch, give me my land back. We ain't signed no contracts. Why you wasting all of our trust funds? We don't know who your dad is, but we know who your kin is. Take the food off of my plate. Eat that shit with my phone. Invader. Motherfucking invader. Invader. This is for the invader. Invader. Sitting on the invader. All praises to the most high. All praises to the most high. All praises to the most high. Give them all praises. Give them all praises. Invader. This is for the invader. Invader. Sitting on the invader. All praises to the most high. All praises to the most high. All praises to the most high. Give them all praises. Give them all praises. Hey ya. 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 All praises to the most high. All praises to the most high. All praises to the most high. Give them all praises. Give them all praises. Invader. This is for the invader. Invader. Sitting on the invader. Invader. This is for the invader. Invader. Sitting on the invader. Invader. This is for the invader. Invader. Sitting on the invader. All praises to the most high. All praises to the most high. All praises to the most high. Give them all praises. Give them all praises. Hey ya. 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 Peace, peace, peace. You know, rocking with Ahanu, aka A1, or Tonsilist one, if you will. Just want to make sure I'm being heard live and direct. Thanks for purchasing. Hold up for a second. As you feel your... Yeah, crime scene on deck, Ed Cooper. You right. Y'all can hear me, right? Okay, all right, we good. All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to all the Aborigines, North, South, conjoining islands. Yo, man, like I told y'all, man, I got endless research on this shit, man. Shout out to my brother Obashango L, man, to go on top of the research that I got. Now, over the last couple of days, I had time to run through and really observe some of the research that I got. You understand? And this is some heavyweight shit. You understand? Like I'm telling you, most of the stuff is some of the stuff is repentant. I mean, some of the stuff we went over. Most of it is some of the stuff we went over, but it's just more sources. Because when it comes to this, we looking for sources, we looking for people who agree with our historical point according to history that we was already here. And if they brought some Africans here, it was only a small amount, which was pretty minute. And they pretty much got engulfed by the Aborigines that was here already. If they even came here. But nonetheless, though, we're going to get into this shit. Give me a second, y'all. All right, let's do this, man. I don't know where to start at, man. You know, but we're going to start with this right here. So look, all right, this is what I found. And I've been seeing this shit for years. CS Raffin Quake. Not Raffin Quake. I guess that's how you pronounce his name. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but his name is Samuel Constantine Raffin's Quake or something like that. Okay. Now I've been seeing this meme right here for a long time. This meme right here, right? And you know, I was looking for research. I found some research, but I backed away from it at one point in time. I was looking for the actual book that has this. I didn't want to go off of the meme. Let me see something else. It was another one. Let me see something this week. All right, well, it's not giving it to me. Give me a second. Just give me 1 second. I'm looking for one thing particular. You know what? Let me see something. All right, nah, this ain't what I was looking at. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to find. I had another article up here. I cannot find it for some reason. Hold up. Let me open up another tab and see if I can find it now. Earlier today. Not this one. It's not this one. Oh, I think it's this one. Hold up. Let me see if it opens now. All right. Let me see if this is it. I think this is, let me see something. Nah, this ain't what I'm looking for. I'm sorry, y'all. I had it up here. I don't know how the fuck it closed out. Let me see. Maybe it might be on the other page I got. Because I got this open too. Let me see. No, it's not on here. Hold up. Let me go back here real quick. It's not that one. All right. Fuck it. I'm going to go with what I got. All right. Let me see something. I clicked on that one. Let me see if I click on it. This is right here. All right, that's the same page. All right. Nah, man, I'm sorry, y'all, because I had a whole nother page. I had like 2 other articles besides this one, besides the book. I got the book right here, so I'm good. We still got this though, but I wanted, like, this is a meme that somebody put up here, right? Now I didn't want to pull no memes up because I actually had a lengthy article that basically says everything that he says in it. But your boy got the book right here, so don't even worry about it. So just bear with me. We're gonna go back up real quick. Let me read through a little bit of this. All right. All right, so this is a book titled American Nations, and the author is Samuel Constantine Raffinquay. I guess that's how you pronounce his name, man. All right. But Very interesting book. Very interesting. Gives you some understanding of what these tribes look like. And let me see something. All right, I'm gonna start from right here. Because I'm gonna be reading for a minute. So, all right. So this is in this book, and let's see. Well, let's see when the date of the book is, so y'all will know everything. So, I guess this is a new volume. This is dated 2010. But it starts the project of Gutenberg, American Nations Value. Now, let me see something. Let me see, do I have a date on this one? What date this was? 1822. So his the original, let me see something, if I can find that one again. Let me see. This is probably it right here. All right, so that is the name of it, American Nations. It looked like somebody must have revised it or something. All right. All right, so we good, y'all. All right, just give me 1 second. Let me get back where we was at. So that's the name of it, American Nations, or Outline of National History of Ancient and Modern Nations of North and South America by Professor Constantine Samuel Raffinquay. All right, so let's get into this. All right, a little bit of contents. Let's get past that. Let's get to the good part. So it's just pretty much the same thing that we just read right there. So I know that this is a actual correct text. Now look, this is what it says right here. Let's read through this a little bit. It's saying, to you I dedicate this work, result of long and weary research. This homage is due to the public approbation you gave to my first analog labor, my memoirs of series of research of the origins of man, which I have endeavored to trace the philological to the center of Asia. So he's saying that his research led him to believe that the original life came from Asia, which people are, which we don't have a problem with that, but I do, because now people starting to say they starting to challenge the out of Africa theory with the out of America theory. And I got articles and I got some data to research about monkeys that they found over here that's supposed to go back to 30 million years ago. Now I'm gonna show you a glimpse of that. I told AP we was gonna get together and do that bill, but I'm gonna probably send it to him and let him do it, because he like to do a lot of the more research like that. But it's a very interesting article. So let's keep it going. All right. So I have announced long ago this history of America, the inhabitants of the whole hemisphere. I have quoted in my other works. I now offer the outline of it under aspects. It's saying you have furnished an example of cultivation along. I sent it to you already, AP. Check your email. Check your email. If you ain't got your email, just hit me back and I'll send it back to you again. I sent it to UN Chief Holiday, so check your emails. All right. So, all right, say along with the geographic and exoneration and connected science with which may enlighten it, particularly the ancient and modern ethnograph and philology It's saying one of its base. It's saying you will see that I have followed the practice of availing myself of all the sciences and enlighten the history of mankind. The infographic and annals of nations above philologic and chronologic and graphic. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm smoking, y'all. So y'all gonna have to excuse me. All right, but look, it's saying the origins of the annals of the black nations and the American nations were two subjects quite obscure. It's saying and neglected, or the least known of the history of mankind. Nobody has undertaken as yet the history of the Negro nation, a labor so difficult and luckless as to this as the despice, whatever. It's saying the memoirs of this despice race may perhaps furnish the base of such history. All the histories of America are fragments of or dreams. It's saying I perceive the possibilities and the necessity a general and faithful history of this hemisphere. I now offer the results of my worry labor. All right. So now he already said that it was black people. We're gonna get into it. All right. So let me just get myself together, y'all, because you know I'll be having a rough start when I first start. Let me get it together because I got a lot of reading to do. And that shit right there, I just did ain't gonna make it. So let me just get to where I'm going. So just bear with me. Now check this out. Look. Check this out. Look. Check this out. Check this shit out, right? Now I say, when I laid the foundations of the earth, the morning stars song together, and the sons of God shouted for joy. Now check this out. This ain't got nothing to do with it, right? It's saying, listen to this right here. Please listen to this. It's saying that Hebrew philosophy divided the world into two hemispheres, the upper Shem or the Shemain, whatever. It's saying the heavens, and the lower, the Shalom. So it's saying the Shalom. Now this is what he's saying. Now some people might have a problem with this or whatever, but this is what he's saying. I can't pronounce this, but it's saying Tatif, or inferior, was the place or bad souls, the Ramprinth. The true Shao was America or Southern Hemisphere. Okay, now true Sheol was in America. Now this man wrote this book in 1922. It's saying or the Southern Hemisphere. The Jesuit Santius thought that Jobs had been spoken of America. He's saying that the whole thing of Jobs was talking about the Americas. Now look, it's saying it is very possible that the modern learning to understand better books, Moses, Orpheus, and those of ancient nations than Egyptians, Greek, and Roman commentators, because intellectual knowledge of language is improving, and those ancient writers have but their genius approximately to us. It's saying while removed from blindness of their ages. Now check this shit out. This shit gonna get deeper than this. Hold up, let me see something. He said that the floods and all, and I'm gonna find it, but that's not really what I wanted to touch on. I wanted to show you where he gives the description of the people that's over here. And he said that they black, no doubt about it. No, and it's all the other people who I always said was here too. Now check this shit out, right? Let me see if this is one of the paragraphs, because there was a lot of stuff I was reading yesterday. So I'm trying to really get through this, because look, if you think I'm bullshitting, look, this is, let me see something. I got all these articles pulled up. So that ain't even the tip of the iceberg what I want to show you. Well, this is one of the tip of the iceberg, but I want to show you the descriptions of what they saying that the people in South America looked like. And I want you to remember the debates I had with the Mongoloids. It's going to tell you that the Fuegians, whatever, basically either they're saying that they're Australianoid, sub-Saharan African. That's it. And that's the thing that's fucking with me, right? Because you start asking yourself, well, hold up. You mean tell me you can't get a distinctive, do sub-Saharan African and Australian share the same haplogroups? So that means they're guessing, or they're probably finding genetic traits of similarities in them, but they're not testing nobody else, obviously, because there's a big difference from the people in sub-Saharan Africa and the people in Australia. And like I keep telling y'all, you know what the people in Australia look like. You see no remnants of these people here, but we're gonna get back into that. All right, so let's go back into what I was talking about the first time. All right, so back to the book. All right, so just give me a second. Let me find the page I was looking for. Just give me a second. All right, so I could read a little bit of this. Can I read some of this? Nah, let me see something. All right, y'all, just bear with me, y'all, because once I get to it, I'm going to be reading for a minute. And he got some other interesting points along before I get to my point. Because this nigga took the time. I'm going to show you something what he did, too, that we can use, that we can take useful. Until we get down, let me see something. Hope everybody having a good Labor Day. You know, Labor Day was originally invented for the Aborigine Black Indians that fought in these wars. That's what Labor Day was. Labor Day was for black veterans, or not black, or melanated, copper color. Let's get away from that word black. But that's when you do the history of it. You see that the first Labor Day was for the veterans. AP, I hope y'all got that link, man. If you ain't get the link, email me back and let me know. So this right here is good. This part right here, the general introduction to national regions of America, it's saying ancient and modern nations, historical periods, right? So he took the time to break some of this stuff down, right? Like it got like right here, ancient world containing Asia 2, Africa 3, Europe, which are continent, but then it go right here containing 1, Atula, or North America. So now I never heard of that word before. Attila. That's, look, it's Atalaa. It's saying or North America. It's saying Colombian or South America, which are two continents, which they're not two continents. That's how they spread it up. The West Indies, saying the Northeast Caribs, and the Luciads Islands, whatever. Let's get past this because just wanted to just touch on that. All right, hold up. All right, just bear with me, y'all, because I don't really want y'all to hear this shit right here, y'all. This shit blew my mind. I'm just having a hard time. I gotta find it. I'm still here, y'all. He breaking it up right here. And this is interesting right here. I'm gonna put the book in the link or whatever. A lot of this stuff right here for people who really want to do the tedious research. I don't do the tedious research. I just prove to you the melanated presence in the Americas. I don't touch on a lot of the foods, or I touch on some of the pyramids and some of the stuff that they find here. But mainly, I'm just trying to put out there the melanated presence in America. That's what I'm trying to get down to, right? Now, look, it says this right here, right? Now, listen to this, right? Now, check this out. Now, just chapter 1 is saying, proceeding from the known and unknown, we assert, we assertion that the multitude of nations have come to America since 1492 as colonists or visitors. It's saying the principles were, now listen to this, it's saying the Spanish who have colonized or conquered the New Mexico or Chile from Florida or the Bena Ayes, whatever. It's saying, but they came not alone. It's saying, and have brought along with them as auxiliary Italian famish. I don't know what famish means, or the Biscayans, the Canarians. It's saying, while as slaves, Moors of Mauritania, or it's saying, and many African Negro nations. Now, this is what they're saying, but we don't believe that. Now, look, it's saying Portuguese who have colonized the whole Brazil and bought there besides many Negro nations, some Moors, Gypsies, and Chinese. Now, that might history, but along it was already Negroes there. So I'm not touching on that point. I'm not even going to elaborate on that point. The overall majority of people there was already there. All right, so English. Now they talking about the English. Now this is where we coming at, for right here in North America. It's saying number 3, who have colonized the whole eastern side of North America, Jamaica and other islands of the Antilles, which parts of the Yucatan, Honduras, the Guyana is saying, but have brought with them the Welsh, Scots, the Irish, the Germans, the Jews, and now they're saying many African nations. Okay? But remember, let's go to the first, what he said. They brought with them the Welsh, the Scots, the Irish, and the Germans. Okay? Now remember, they said all of them were slaves. Now I get to where you got the French. They colonized Canada, Louisiana, Haiti, several Caribbean islands, Cayenne, and Guyana. It said, although conquered in North America and Haiti, their language remained. It's saying they brought with them the Provincial and Bretron, brisk speaking distinct languages of African nations. Now this is what he's saying. Now Scandinavian, part of North America, the Dutch, New York, they saying the Russians too. All right, but let's go down. All right, I just wanted to just touch on that because the English, when I seen that, I said, yeah, he's right. All of the English colonies, and that's what you have to take into account. If you want to do excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. If you look at it, right, I'm gonna go back up here real quick. The English. Look, if you think about it, they're saying the English who have colonized the whole eastern side of North America, Jamaica and other islands of Antilles, with part of Yucatan, Honduras, and Guyana. It's saying, but they have brought with them the Welsh, the Scots, Irish, German, Jews, and I ain't gonna say many African nations, but we're gonna deal with this. We're gonna deal with this. All right. Very interesting that he put that in there. All right, so let's go now. Let's go now. All right, it's chapter 1. Now look. Now, let me see something. All right, so it's saying North America. These are some of the names that some of the tribes that he encountered, or he was calling them. All right, but when you like the Nash chat, he don't put a T in it. You got the Lenny. You see how he pronounced the Lenape, the Angawa. I don't know what that is. But you go now, you see the Paha, the Kapaha, that'll be, it says, I see the Sooks in there, and the Choctaw, and it got a bunch of other ones. But these are different. Like I said, he broke some of this stuff down. Was it everything is correct? I don't know, but I'm just saying, as far as some of the research that I've seen, I can definitely agree with. That's my father. Hold up. All right, let's go down soon. All right, boom. I'm gonna start reading from right here. Right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. All right, boom. South America has had an Aborigine population. Now look, he say Atanchans, men born from the soil. Okay? If America had had Aborigine population or a time, listen to this shit, y'all. Listen to this shit. If America has an Aborigine population or a Tanchan, men born from the soil, it is there they should be found, driven to the south and those remote climates of ancient colonies and other nations. Now he gonna make references to that flood. Okay, now, like I said, we don't know what the fuck took place in America, but we finding too many people who are saying that all this stuff that happened in the Bible happened here. Now we gonna elaborate on it. Let's check this shit out. All right. So it's saying it's been driven south. Now look, it's saying those remote climes. It's saying by the ancient colonies of other nations, and they should feature complexions, languages, and manners totally different from others. If all America derived from ancient colonies, it is still there that ought to be found. The primitive tribes driven on the subsequent colonies and tribes. Therefore, the Australian tribes, Austral tribes are exceedingly interesting. I guess that's his way of saying that. It's saying to study most of the ancient, listen to this, to study most of the ancient relics of American population, but the origins of American nations and tribes are only to be considered as a branch of their history. The account of their dispersion and successive settlements, the history of the events which has remembered and transmitted to us by traditions and annals, those of empires which has founded there in ancient and modern times, the study of their civilization and ethnographic offers surely more interest and a wide field of historical facts and inquiry. It's saying it appears that as soon as we speak of ancient America, we ought to cut the Gordon knot. It's saying and say whence they came. I do not wish to explain beforehand all my views on the subject. I wish to reserve them for the result of the inquiries to be pursued in this work. Yet to satisfy the general curiosity expressed on the subject, I may venture to say that I have not found in either America any people or tribe totally different from another, or the phylological affinities, nor with features, complexions, or physical characters quite peculiar. But instead, all the ancient American tribes are numerous affinities between each other and with races of mankind of Eastern Hemisphere, both physical and moral, as the philological. It said, if American nations sprung from ancient colonies, it is among primitive population. Now, he keeps saying primitive. I'm not giving him no props on saying what's primitive because he's going to tell you. Now, check this out. Hold up for a second. I think the whole purpose of the book to show you that it wasn't primitive tribes here. Because wait till I get to the good part. Now that I think about it, as I'm reading it, I didn't get a chance to read the whole book, but I read through at least like fucking 30 pages. But look, and the first 30 pages pretty much tell me everything I need to know. Now I know going forward, it's probably got massive jewels in this. Okay, but check this out. We keep finding evidence of the Phoenicians. Okay, got another article talk about Cherokees was the Phoenicians. Like, who is coming up with all this stuff, man? And why none of this stuff is being popularized? Niggas studying the Bible, but ain't telling you that the Bible came from America. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the thing. That's the whole thing. Like, the purpose for debates is to present the information and be able to put the information out there to where a credible person can make a credible or how do you say an educational summary or educational how do you say analysis of the information. And if the information stands, then you have to be further, you have to lean towards that, unless you dealing with personal or you dealing with it from a personal view. But if the information is out there, the information is out there. We got plenty of information about Asians being in America. We got plenty of information about so-called Africans coming here. But you got people telling you, we got plenty of information that it was already people here that looked it like that was here. Now, let me continue. Now, America appears to have been partly people even before the flood. Now, listen to this. He's saying that the flood happened here. Okay, he's saying even before the flood. Therefore, the system which would derives them from the Phoenicians, Jews, Chinese, Tartars. I've been hearing a lot about the Tartars. I ain't really did no research about the Tartars. You got the Barbers and the Tartars or whatever. It's saying or later ages or any single people, whatever may be absurd or improbable, since traces of many ancient nations are found in the Western Hemisphere. And that's saying traces of many ancient nations. So, but we always assume that these nations happened over there. Maybe these people already knew that this shit happened here and just told us that it happened here so you would never look here, which I already think that's the whole thing. You understand what I'm saying? They over there. And then you look over there and shit, it happened here. Okay, now look. Let me go down. It has always appeared probable to me that most of the ancient colonies of America must have come there by the nearest or most direct way. The same nearly followed again by Columbus in 1492. Now saying either from North Africa or South Europe. This becomes still more probable if there was formerly land and land or large islands. Okay, now check this out. It's saying in the Atlantic Ocean, of which we have an ample proof. Nearly all nations from Florida and Mexico and Chile appear to have reached America from the east. Now, this is what he's saying. Now, I don't agree with that. I believe it was already people here. It's saying, though the tropic islands or the Antilles, but the ancestors of these immigrating tribes dwelt once in Asia, which appears to be the cradle of mankind. Now, remember, I don't agree with everything he's saying. I'm just trying to get to the good part of it. However, many nations of Brazil and Guyana are more recent and of Africa origins, while nearly all those of North Africa appears to have reached America by the opposite direction. Now, remember, I don't agree with all this shit he's saying, but like I said, we already then debunked it, the Bering Strait. All right, but therefore, the colonial tribes came from the east and northward. It's saying it is more doubtly than any came from West Polynesia. It's saying what is now needful is the trace of these colonies, their travels, their impact hots. It's saying and assertions, the nations which they have produced in both Americas. It's saying this I will endeavor to do without being prevented by the difficulties of the task. I shall always seek the assertion of the true names of each nations or tribes, which have often been disguised under a crowd of nicknames and erroneous antrographies. It's saying these names when thus restored, will offer furnished an original key to supply the sacredly known language or lost traditions. All right, so let's go down some. Let me see something. All right, let me see something. So the first attempt of kind was the outline of history songs and traditions of Haiti. It's saying collected as early as 1498 by Friar Roman at the conquest of Columbus, printed by his son and by Barcrius. Yet this valuable document has escaped the notice of nearly all writers on America. Evidence proof of altar, carelessness, and neglect. Now he's telling you how this is in 1822. Now check this out. Let me see something. All right, he giving more names up here. The Toltecs of Guatemala, the Mayans of the Yucatan. It's saying he giving Mexico, Peru. He giving. Are you talking about that right here? Let's go down. All right, let me go past this. I think it's right here. Okay, all right, boom. There you go, right here. I think it start right here. All right, boom, it start right here. So Asia has been the country of fables, okay? Africa of monsters and America of systems. For those who prefer opinions to reality, the systems and hypothesis of philosophy or ignorance upon America exceeds all the Asiatic fables. A crowd of prejudice, false opinions, and fantastic theories have been asserted on this hemisphere, often mistaking a small part of it for the whole. Some have declared all the Americas a red, beardless, naked, and barbarous race or peculiar species of men. Others that they came out the ground or the clouds or over a bridge instead of a boat on the ice. It's now listen to this. It's saying others that they are all Jews. Now, it's saying lastly, listen to this. Lastly, even that Eden was here, saying in America, and Noah built his ark in America. All these systems and 50 more brought forth by ignorance and pride are based upon the most absurd proof or a few installated facts, while there are historical facts easy to prove that are neglected or forgotten. Thus, it is a positive fact that many ancient nations of the East, such as the Liberians, the Moors, the Etruscans, the Phoenicians, the Hindus, it's saying have heard of America, of new. No, it's saying of new nearly as much of it as we did of Australia or Polynesia 100 years ago. It is as certain that America contained anciently as even now a crowd of distinctive nation of and tribes, some of which were quite civilized, perhaps as much as the Spanish led by the Columbus. The other more barbarous, but not entirely savage. Okay. Now look, there were but few. It said, if any, real savages in America, dwelling in the woods without social ties. Most of them were wandering tribes of fishermen and hunters. Okay, it's saying there were formerly in America as now tribes of all complexions. Okay, so look, I told you, Lena Horne, Wesley Snipes. That covers all of that. Okay, I've been saying this forever. Okay, check it out. The formerly in America, as now, tribes of all complexions, right, are as elsewhere. Now he's saying yellowish, olive, which olive is another black tone or someone with complex. And yellow, a light skinned person will be called yellow. A light skinned black person will be called yellow. Olive. Olive coming green, brown, and black. Okay, that's the color olives coming. Coppery. We know what color copper color coming. Reddish. We seen that. Tawny. It's saying tawny. Ratting. I don't know what that means. Let me look this up real quick. I want to see what that means. Just right here. R-E-D, redding. It said redding. Let me see something. Let me see if I can get a color for that. Redding skin. Nah, hold up. Nah. Hold up for a second, y'all. Trying to find something real quick. Let me see the images. All right, fuck it. I'm gonna come back to that. Oh nah. Oh hell no. Oh nah, this ain't nothing. Fuck it. Let's keep this moving. All right, so it say redding, brown, incarnate, or white. It's saying even blackened or negro-like. Tall and dwarfish men from 8 feet to 4 feet in size, called giants and pygmies. Men of various frames, skulls, and features. It's saying of all sort found in the Eastern Hemisphere. America had long before Columbus large cities. Listen to this. Listen to this shit. Listen. 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 Okay. America had long before Columbus large cities built of stone, brick, or wood. It's saying with walls, ditches, temples, palaces, some of which were immense in size and population. One of them is the Ortonum near Poliquay, was 28 miles long, equally to the Thebes, Babylon, or Kino, I can't pronounce that. The size of the monuments. He said one place was 28 miles long. My dude, do you think about how far 28 miles is from where you at now? Okay? Let me, I gotta let that shit marinate, man. You're studying this shit right here, man, where you gotta smoke some type of motherfucking psychoactive matter, man, because this shit is crazy. Look, America had long before Columbus large cities built of stone, brick, or wood with walls, ditches, temples, and palaces, some of which were immense in size and population. One of them, the Ortonum near the Penlequay, was 28 fucking miles long. Okay? 28 fucking miles long. Now listen to their science. Listen to this shit right here. This going to have me going somewhere else with this shit, right? Listen to this. Let that marinate for a minute, man. Let me see something for a minute. Let me see what y'all talking about. Yo, 28 miles long. Yo, what I mean, 28 miles long. Now check this shit out. Let's go back. Let's go back into this. Okay. Nearly all the ancient sciences and youthful primitive arts were known in America. Nearly all ancient science. What? Hold up, man. Hold up. Hold the fuck up. I thought you motherfuckers was wearing feathers and just sitting there with your legs folded blowing smoke. I thought that's all you niggas was doing. He said nearly all ancient sciences. Nearly all.
okay? Nearly all ancient sciences, and youthful primitive arts were known in America, as well as the commerce and navigation. Okay? Okay, motherfuckers? Commerce and navigation, symbolic and alphabetic writing. Nearly all Asiatic religions, the most civilized nation, had even colleges. Oh my God, y'all dropped this shit. I'm done. I give up, y'all. I'm done, man. I give up, y'all. I'm done, y'all. Sorry, y'all. I'm done, y'all. I'm done. I can't do this no more, man. I'm done, y'all. I can't do this shit no more, man. I can't do it no more, man. I can't do it. I can't do this shit no more, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I cannot do this shit no more, man. Let's go back over this, man. Now, listen. Okay? We already went through the encyclopedia, right? All we need to do is put the proper face to these people who did this shit. You see what I'm saying? And we've been doing it all along. Okay? But let me start back at the top. I'm sorry. Let me go back to the top, because this shit right here is depressing. Let me go back to the top. The Americas had, long before Columbus, large cities. Shout out to my brother Colonial. Built of stone, brick, wood, with walls, benches, temples, and fucking palaces. I thought you motherfuckers lived in teepees. Some of which were of a mere size and population. One of them, the Ortolim near Palenque, was 28 fucking miles long. Okay? Nearly all ancient sciences. All ancient sciences. So that means that I'm not going there. And youthful primitive arts was known in America, as well as navigational, symbolic, and alphabetic writing. Nearly all Asiatic religions. The most civilized nations even had colleges and universities, canals, and paved roads, splendid temples and monuments. Okay? The most civilized nations had even colleges, universities, canals, paved roads, splendid temples, and fucking monuments, man. Okay? Like, I mean, come on now. Like, for real. Like, we don't know nothing about this, y'all. We don't know nothing about it. We find out we was from here, and then we put our face on the Mongoloids, and everything that we see the Mongoloids doing, we believe this was our culture here in the southeast, or where the Negroes was populated at, right? So we look at the Mongoloids and see them dancing like damn fools, and these white guys in these tribes and shit, and we looking at them like, my dude, like, it's a reason why we get down a different way from y'all. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't making nothing rain by doing that shit, man. But keep it moving. We see the Mongoloids. First thing we do, get a war bonnet. With some tribes, war. The war bonnet is basically imitation of the fucking feather crown. But in some places, we know that they had these particular styles that look similar to the war bonnets like the Mongoloids wear. You know, they wore a lot of headdresses. I'm talking about my people here that was in the South. Majority of Black Americans I speak to are from the South. That's it. They are from the South. Even if they're in California, even if they're in different parts of the country. Most of them came from the South. And with the exception to the other brothers that came from the Caribbeans, most of us came from the South. Either we was in the South or we was in the North. Meaning we was in Connecticut, Canada, all the way New York, Delaware, New Jersey, Delaware, then getting to Virginia and Carolina and all that, whatever you want to call that. Okay? But this shit is funny though. This shit is real funny. Because you know what? You know what? He gets put a face on. He gets put a face on the Indian. So now you, whether or not he said all these other people was here, your ass was here too. I'm not debating that. He said high yellow. Okay? They always call light-skinned people yellow. Growing up, my father dark skin, like, man, he always called light-skinned women yellow. He never called them red bone. He called them yellow and shit. Her yellow eye. That's how my father be talking and shit, right? Now, I just find that to be funny. Now, all of them other complexions are what we consider to be black. Tawny, copper, olive. You ain't never seen a green nigga before, so it has to be either brown or black olive. Have you ever seen a green nigga before? All right, then. So olives only come in 3 different colors. Come in like a greenish color, a purplish brown color, and a black color. I'm a chef, and I know. The olives we see are green. Have you ever seen a green nigga before? So a lot of them colors, look, a lot of them colors that they saying are pretty much the same. You understand what I'm saying? Look, a lot of them colors are pretty much the same. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what y'all saying. Boy, yeah. But bro, listen, my dude. I don't even want to go no. I don't listen. I got so much shit pulled up. We gonna be here at 10 o'clock tonight. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be here at 10 o'clock tonight. All facts. All facts. None of these niggas want to fuck with this shit. None of them. Because this is like, no problem, bro. I believe that we disrespect the Most High. You're right. We do that every day. What's wrong, America? What's good, man? You good? You all right? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sis. You good? Everything good with you? Let me see. Y'all can't see the screen? Let me see. So let me go down. All right. Nah, I just clicked off a minute. Hold up. All right, let's go back up. Y'all can see the screen now? Yeah, El Boogie Copper do turn green, but have you ever seen a green nigga before? El Boogie, let's be real. And have you, even if you seen one, have you ever seen many of green niggas before? I know they show us what's the motherfucker from Kemet? Osiris and shit. I've never seen a green nigga. But when they referring to olive, they referring to either the brown or the black olive. And like I said, all of these complexions are pretty much the fucking same right here. Even if you go back, when I go back to the top right here, let me go up. It said they were formerly in America as now tribes of all complexions, right? As elsewhere, yellowish, opper, coppery, tawny, redden, brown, incarnate. That's an I never seen. Let me hold up. Let me stop real quick. I was always taught if I don't understand something, let me look it. I never heard of that color before. Incarnate. Or maybe I'm saying it the wrong way. Let me see. Okay, incarnate. Hold on, let me see something. Let me see something. Let Let me see what the meaning of it is. Said deity embodied body in a human form. Mm. All right, fuck it. It's saying or white. It's saying even blackened or Negro-like, right? It's saying tall dwarfing men from 8 feet to 4 feet tall. Okay, but like I said, olive, coppery, tawny, them are all the complexions of black people you already see. You understand what I'm saying? Them are all the complexions of people you already see. And they all ain't nothing but synonyms for what we already know of. Copper is brown, reddish brown, or dark brown. You know what I'm saying? Yellowish, well, we know yellowish. We know what a light-skinned person look like. Olive, like I said, olives only come in 3 different colors. Green, brownish purple, like a purple brownish kind, purple brownish, and a black. You understand? So I would assume that it would have to be brown or black when they describing you as olives. Okay, because the olives with the most colors has the most how you say phytochemicals in it or nutrients. You understand? The ones that's the darkest ones have the most nutrients in it. It's a fact, you know, when you're looking at food. Green is a great color, but darker vegetables has more nutrition yield than some green vegetables. You understand? I mean, this to say, but that's just some bullshit. That's just going another. Let's go back to what we was at. All right. So we're clear on this. We're clear that we're not peons no more. We wasn't just living smoking no motherfucking or walking around with no feathers on with our feet. We was doing real shit. Okay, we was doing real shit. Built 28 miles. Niggas was working. Okay, niggas was working. Okay, nigga wasn't just sitting around smoking no fucking peace pipe or fucking nah. Niggas was getting it in. 28-mile long joint, monuments, ancient science colleges and universities and canals, paved roads. What? Where is these paved roads at? Where they at? You tell me. Let's continue. Now, I say it would be tedious to designate all what has not been told or been very unworthily noticed. It's saying upon America. The whole of these outlines shall be commented upon the forgotten fact relating this third of a world, such as are founded records by chance in one of few authors scattered in 1,000 volumes. This is, I'm telling you, look, what he's saying is true. This is a European. So like what he's saying is true. He's saying that they put pieces of all the material in a bunch of different oh yeah, it came before Columbus. They didn't specify none of this stuff that he's saying in here. They didn't have archaeology and anthropology work. They just had the images that shouldn't be there in a place to where, you know, and then they were at that point in time coming from the school of thought that Van Sertima came from. He came from the whole, but he knew because when Taj Tariq Bey asked him, or when he asked him, he said that if he said anything, he would get deported. So he knew that these people was really from over here. He knew it. They had to know. That's what that whole the El Rey statue that they found. The El Rey statue that they found with the helmet on. He looked like a football player. That's an Olmec. That's a fucking Olmec. I couldn't even find it, but I got it up. I got it up in my picture somewhere. But they found. I mean, well, that's one of the features of an Olmec. All right. Now let me see something. All right, let me see something. I want to really look over some stuff real quick. He broke this down into like the empires. Hold on for a second. Let me answer this. What's up? What do you want, man? I'm busy. Nah, I'll hit you back when I get finished doing what I'm doing. I got you, though, all right? Hello? Yeah, all right. So, all right, so, there's something else, right? Hold up. Let me see something. It's chapter 2. Let me see if it's ahead. No. I say materials for the history of the Americas. All right. Now, I'm not going, like I said, I'm going to really go into this book after I really observe it more. I just wanted to just put that part. I know other brothers had to go through this book. I'm quite sure Colonial had to come through this book right here. He had to see this book. Or maybe he made a video and mentioned some of his work in this book. I don't know. Did he read it in its entirety? But this shit right here is a heavyweight jam itself. You understand? Now, let me see something. Let me see. It's had a lot of information in it for a lot of people who do research. A lot of these so-called places and these names that they bringing up will definitely. And like I said, man, on that Chickamauga flag, that shit said Shalom on it, man. Shalom on the Chickamauga flag, man. Like, and I'm like, yo, hold up, man. Wait a minute. So that flag had Shalom on it, and it said Chickamauga on it, right? Let me see something. All right, nah, my shit ain't even pulled up. That flag had Shalom on it, man. The Chickamauga flag. Let me see something real quick. Hold up. I'm gonna block my screen out real quick. Hold up. Just hold up for a second, y'all. Let me find that flag. All right, hold up. Nah, this is the other one. Let me see something. Just bear with me, y'all. Hold up. Let me see. It might be my downloads. I think it's up here. My download. I don't know if you guys seen that shit. I think I posted it on the back in the back channel. I don't think I posted it. I'm put it on the screen. Let me see if I can find it. I found that to be very interesting. That flag had Shalom on it. And then this guy saying all of these, all like I'm saying, man, America's is very interesting, man. And like I said, man, the reason why they didn't want you to really study it because they was still digging shit up and taking shit as they find that they was taking it. Let me see something. I know damn well I just had that damn picture up here. Let me see. I found it. Now this one of the flags right here, right? Let me see. This one of them, right? This must be a later date one, right? Now look, the Chickamauga outlook. It's a rocky face mountain, right? Now look, then we got this one right here. Say Salah on it, man. I'm just saying, like, why would an Indian tribe have that name on a damn flag? Look, then it say black land, rocky face. Now I don't know, is this the original flag, but it say Chickamauga and it say lookout mountain. It say lookout mountain. Now I don't know, but it has two like bats. These look like some type of clubs. I did read about in America that we was rocking with clubs or whatever though. But I just found that to be interesting. Along, some people say Shilah, Shalah, Shalom, or whatever. I just found that to be very interesting when I seen that on there. What you guys think? What you guys think about that flag? Think that's some bullshit, some flim flam? Julius, I'm not a motherfucking linguistic, man. I mean, I only could pronounce it according to how the Europeans taught me, but chalo, 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 chalo. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, Mr. Dark Brother, is that flag supposed to have that on it, my dude? Along, what did we just read? This guy just said. He just said that he said the Hebrews was the tribes of the South. You know what? Let me see something else. Let me see something before we go into the next segment of this. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna come back to this, man. Let's get into the other part of it, what I was on build on. All right. So now this is the document I was telling you about, and this is some serious. This is say anthropology genesis. All right, and this is the out of America versus the out of Africa families of hypothesis. All right, and I mean, it's very interesting, man. It's very interesting. I read through some of it. I had to really Google some of this shit because I know science, but when it get down to certain parts of science that I don't understand, I don't want to assume, you know what I'm saying? Because some of these words, I don't even know what the fuck they mean. I ain't gonna front when you get down right here. So I have to really, really research this in depth. But it is a person giving an out of America theory. And it's very interesting. You know what I'm saying? It's very interesting. And it starts to talk about great apes that they found in America. Let me see something. And then plus pygmies that was found here. But it's a very lengthy article. I just wanted to show you guys that. All right, hold up. That's some other shit I got. Let me see. Hold up. Now let's start from here. We went over them. We know about this. Let me see something. This is another very interesting article. America before Christ. Did King Solomon fleet visit America? Now, like I said, anytime that they telling you, did King Solomon fleet visit America, then you already know. Now, look, let me check this out. I'm going to read through it. I got a bunch of different articles. We're going to be just pretty much building on just history of the Americas from this point on. And I'm going to go over some anthropology work too, right? So now listen, did King Solomon fleet visit America? Did ancient Hebrews reach the shores of North America and South American continent? See, now, none of the Hebrew Israelites teach about this. None of the Hebrew Israelites teach about this. That's why I was smiling. And like I said, I asked Solomon, did one of them niggas on there want to debate me? He never got back at me. or whatever. They got this little debate league or whatever, and they never had no real. They all talking about the fucking Bible. And like I said, none of these niggas who know about the Bible is even talking about we was in America. None of these niggas even saying that shit. None of them. And I would respect the Israelite who say that. But none of them saying it because they are, like, even when I spoke to Tazariak about that, that's something that you really want to do your own research on to find out whether or not it's true or not. That's not something you just want to be like, yeah, we heard about it. Because we got other information to qualify this, right? But, and this is going to talk about the delicate tablets and all that, the stuff that, some of the stuff I talked about already. But look, I just want to just give you a brief touch on it, right? Now, look. Now, it's saying 1,000 years before Christ. Anytime they said 1,000 years before Christ, because they don't know how long this shit been here. The delicate tablets are 8,000 years. Then they was here way before. They was here before Europeans was on the fucking planet. Okay, what evidence is there for the Hebrew and Israel occupation of the Western Hemisphere? Even 1,000 years before Christ, the West transatlantic commerce and travel was fairly routine in the days of King Solomon of Israel. Read through here. Read here the intriguing and saga of true discoveries of America. All right, so. Now, we touched about the lost lunar stones, right? We know about that. Let me see something else. The delicate tablets, we know about that. We touched about that. See, another fascinating archaeology discovery in America is an ancient artifacts bearing an old Hebrew inscription of the Ten Commandments unearthed in Ohio in 1860. It's saying the tablet also include the scene of the individual Moses carved into the front of the tablets. It's saying, and considerably detailed holding the tablets of the Ten Commandments. This artifacts were discovered in an ancient burial mound. The Hebrew inscription also has the characteristics of old Phoenician alphabet. What the fuck is it doing in Ohio, man? Let's stop playing these games, man. We talked about this. We've been over this. We got videos on this. Other brothers talked about this. Glenn Beck talked about this on Channel 5. Come on, man. Come on. But see, the flim-flam is to try to convince you that they wasn't here, that they came from one of them places over there. See, that's the flim-flam that you have to look past. They don't know whether or not these people was living here or not. They keep saying, oh, we found Phoenician in all these different places, but yet then they say, oh, they came from, no. That means because it was here. He can say all of the ancient sciences, all the ancient science, and all the ancient cultures came from the Americas. It says nearly. So nearly could be 90% of all the ancient sciences. Nearly, that's closer to all. So, I mean, you gotta really understand like what we talking about here, man. You know what I'm saying? But just another thing I found, we talked about. We talk about ancient Egyptian. They found it's saying laterally hundreds of inscribed Phoenician, Celtics, and Basque stones markers have been found in Saraquay Valley of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is right fucking next door to Ohio. Now look, dated at 800 to 600 BC. 2,000 years before the fateful voyage of Columbus. It must be said, therefore, Christopher Columbus did not really we know that. All right. That's all. That's some shit. All right. Here we go right here. It's saying, incredibly, as it may seem, the presence of ancient Egyptian has been found in the writing of the Wapanaki, the Mi'kmaq Indians in Maine, and the sub tribes of the Algonquin. It's saying it has even been documented, says Collins, that the ancient Egyptians sailed the Pacific Ocean as far as the Polynesians and Hawaii, searching for gold. Now that's the bullshit. They wasn't searching for no gold. They didn't go there. See, let me tell you something, man. All they telling you are the same people doing the same shit. And they saying that they're going to these places when no, they was already there because they want you to think we know what the people in the Polynesian and Hawaii look like. We know what they look like. You want to see? Let's take a look because they always try to make you think. Let me see something. Fuck, it's not clicking. Oh, I gotta click off. Because I mean, we're gonna have to pull this up anyway. Because this is all they trying to say that came here: sub-Saharan Africans and these people. Now look, let me pull this shit up too while I'm here, so I ain't gotta come back here. I spelled that wrong. Don't worry about it, y'all. All right. Let me see. People. Let me put people. All right. Here, it's better right here. All right. Boom. So this is what they said the sub-Saharan Africans look like. All right. According to them, this is what they saying. Give a little image of what they look like. Let's go ahead. These are now they're gonna give you they're gonna give you these people, right? But now let's go ahead. Hold up. Afro. Let me see. Put Afro in. Let's see what happens. Boom. Should change. Let me see. All right. Boom. So these are the people of the Polynesian Islands, Papua New Guinea, Melanesian. These are all the motherfucking people. Now, like I said, they're gonna always try to show you that the Asian people. No. It wasn't the Asian people wasn't there originally. They came in there and mixed with some of the more recent Asians, right? Now look, this is a picture I found. Oh no, it doesn't have a map on it. But this is what they said a pure Melanesian race look like. Look, this is what a pure Melanesian race look like. It said a woman of the Fuawa clan. All right. Now it says this is a pure Melanesian race. All right. Now look, you take a look at her. She looked like a Fina Shakur a little bit. Now hold up. You know, hold up. Now we can finish with that. I'll finish off with that. Let's go back. Let's go back to the article. All right, here, boom. All right, and let me open this up a little bit so I can see it a little better. So you guys can see it. All right. We was talking about Hebrew right in here. Now it's saying one proof of this fact is an inscription of ancient Agam in Libyan. It's saying the language of the Egyptian merchantmen found near the Rio Grande River of Texas. The inscription states the Egyptian Libyan king by the name of Sasa. That's a person from he ain't nobody. Sasa wait, Shashanak from here, man. They always want to say, oh yeah, well niggas was just coming here visiting like that, man. Like it was just that easy to come here, and then when you got on the then when you came on your boat, a motherfucker had an Uber and you drove. Get the fuck out of here. You know how far some of these lands are from Water Point? Okay, but nonetheless, though, let's keep it moving. It says, translate a crew of Sasquatch. The king took shelter in this place of concealment, says Barry Feld. Several kings of name ruled Egypt and Libya between 10,000 and 800 BC. Now he's saying that I believe these people was already here. I believe the science. My man just said that all of the ancient sciences was found in America. Okay, so we have to at some point in time have to ask ourselves, well, maybe did they start here? Because no one wants to say that. No one wants to go that route. They want to go the route of they came from Africa. But let's continue. Let's continue because we got some other work to do. Let me see something. I just want to read some more. little bit more. All right, let me see something. All right, here I want to kind of touch on more of the Phoenicians. All right, now look, it's saying more evidence of the early Hebrew Phoenician presence in North America, hundreds of years before Christ was found in New England. All right, it's saying a mystery hill named hundreds of years before Christ was found in New England. Okay, it's saying at the Mystery Hill, named for the mystery concerning the origin of the sites, North Salem, New Hampshire. A large temple observatory site of about 20 acres was discovered by early colonial settlers. It's saying it includes shrines and dedications to the god Baal, a Phoenician Canaanite deity. It's saying condemned by God and Israel. Now look, I know a lot of you niggas say that the Moors are Canaanites and they was condemned by God and Israel. I don't know, because you remember you had Moors that practice this, you had Moors that practice that, you had Moors that practice something. No, and you know what? Real quick, while I'm touching on that, let me go back real quick. All right, because I wanted to. It was something else in here that I found interesting. I think I might have passed it. Let me see something. Let me go back up real quick. There's one thing I wanted to touch on before I left this. Let me see something. Let's bear with me, y'all. Hold up. Just bear with me. I'm looking for one thing. I think it's back up here. Damn, I think I lost that shit. I can't even find it, man. He was telling you in this. I just remembered. He was telling you the sciences. Hold up, that they was practicing, man. And let me see something. And basically, it's universal science, man. And the funny thing about it, hold up, man. Let me find this shit real quick, man. I want y'all to hear, because it's the same thing that when we read through the Nazi documents, it was the same thing that the Nazi was practicing. They was worshiping the same shit that he pretty much said, like universal practical science, man. Science that's applicable. Like you figure, you have to know when the sun is coming. You have to know when the seasons is coming. That's stuff that can be applied. Let me see something real quick. Hold up. I think I lost. I think I'm gonna have to go back to. I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't mean to waste some of the bill, but I definitely wanted to show you what he said that they was practicing, man. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. No, it's not in this right here. All right, fuck it. I'm gonna let it go. But when I find it, I will present it. But all right, so let me go back where we was at here. All right, so we was here. So he said in New England, They found a Phoenician deity or Phoenician slash Canaanite deity. It's saying that worship that was dedicated to the god Baal. Okay, now Barry Fell said he found that. All right. Ripped through a little the Davenport site. It's saying most evidence of Hebrew Phoenician explorers. Now they're gonna say explorers. They ain't gonna say that they was there, of course. Now, it's saying most evidence of Hebrew Phoenician explorers being present in the New World come from the burial mounds found in 1877 near Davenport, Ohio. Unfortunately, it was ignored for decades by scholars and historians because no one could read the inscriptions. Also, it was considered suspect because some of the signs on it contained resembled Hebrew and other resembled Phoenicians. And this was utterly contrary to prevailing scholarly opinion. Barry Fell has investigated the ancient stele and found joint inscriptions of three ancient languages: Iberian, Punic, related to Phoenician, Hebrew, Egyptian, and ancient Libyan. It's saying which are three languages during the time of King Solomon of Israel. The leading world alliance. The leading world alliance of the time was a triple alliance consisting of Israel, Phoenician, Egyptian, and Libya. I'm not going to tell you what people today call them. I'm not going to say it. I mean, y'all already know. All right, so look, these are languages, groups, and triple alliances that the Bible reveals begin in the reign of Solomon. Since the ancient still confirms these groups were traveling and working together in an interior of North America, it indicates that the alliances was not only existed, but also had a global reach. They're talking about the Moorish fucking empire. Whether you believe it, you don't believe it, or you do believe it. Because, I mean, if you research, you're going to run across shit like this that's saying that they had, look, it's not just saying one so-called religion. It's saying Phoenician, it's saying Israel, Phoenician, and Egyptian. All right? But that's what I believe. That's just what I believe. Okay? That's just what I believe. Because I keep hearing when most people outside the Hebrew Israelites, you know what I'm saying, outside of them, they don't understand some of the science because they look at it from a biblical texture and they never I don't know, some of them do, some of them don't. And the ones that do, if you're in the chat room, shout out, shalom to my brothers. The ones that don't, we got some work to do. All right. But you got your man right here, Ahanu. All right. You got your man Ahanu right here. Okay. That is a fact. All right, so let me see. We read about that. Let's see some more. Let's go to some other parts. So you finding Phoenician, Hebrew scripture, you find all Israel, you find all this stuff in different parts of America, and the light bulb never clicked off. Like, wait a minute, maybe these people have always been here. Instead of making these crazy assumptions and saying, "Oh well, this person married him," and then that, nah. I mean, it had to always be it. And like I said, we just cross-referenced somebody else that said all of these ancient sciences, the Hebrews, he said all about was it that's the name of them or that is not the name of them. I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing Israel. I'm not arguing that. Them people that think they are them, or they said that they found them here. Them people that think they are, wherever these terms that's put on them. I'm not here to argue the terms because I don't know the terms, because guess what? The terms are taught to me by the same people who taught you the terms. And outside of the other terms that was taught to us, I mean, it's like I said, it's just an endless thing. It's wonderful to know etymology, man, but eventually we're going to keep running into European words that was created by European because all we speak is English. Or if we assume that these words was already here and we taught them, maybe. But that's a whole nother story. All right. Let me see. Let me go through something else. hold up for a second. Now, saying in addition to these discoveries, another still exhibit of ancient Egyptian and Libyan inscription was unearthed on Long Island in New York. Barry Fell states that it also probably dates to around the 9th century. Now, he's saying it also probably, meaning he don't know, okay? And he don't know where the fuck this shit came from. What makes these people the so-called expert to know, oh yeah, well this can't, no, because you cross-referencing knowledge that, remember, if you finding all this shit here, you can't find all that shit in Egypt. Even though that they telling you that they had the Israel, I mean, can you find Phoenician? I don't know. I don't really. I fell back from Egypt for a long time. All right, but I'm telling you one thing, that they're saying that they're finding a lot of this stuff over here. Okay, now let me see. Now that's in New York. Still another amazing discovery is in Oklahoma, where another still was found. It contained reference to the god Baal. Now you find one in New York, one in Oklahoma. You know where Oklahoma at, bro? Do you know if you come in here traveling on a ship, how far is it going to take you to get to Oklahoma? Like, I mean, it's like, for real. We keep thinking that people did not have cars, okay? They did not have cars. So how was okay, if you come from one place on a boat and you come into the shore, how was you getting all the way from New York all the way to Oklahoma? How? How was you getting from New York all the way to Oklahoma? You tell me. I want to know. I want to know. Do anybody, listen, let me go to the chat room. Look. Okay. Hey, Kanan, what you say? Okay, no, I ain't got no problem with that, Canaanite more. I ain't got no problem with that, my brother. No problem with that. Look, but look, check it out though. So you think these people, y'all think these people, rivers, yeah, I got the rivers, but come on now. I mean, these people had to be in them places already. And look, homie. Look, it had to be people in them places where they took these things at first. It wasn't that they just jumped on or just went in a location. And like I said, you'll have to think like this, right? How would you, man, listen, let's hold up. Let's go back and observe some more of this research. Because I got some more shit to pull up. I ain't even done. I just stopped along the road along this. All right. So look. So all right. Still another amazing discovery was found. We talked about the Oklahoma stone that was found, and it referenced the god Baal or Ra. The inscription was an exact from the Ham to the Atam by the pharaoh Atenat. Now, although the date in the Akhenaten is purported to be 13th century BC, New Egyptian dynasty dating method indicates he was much closer to 800 BC. Now look, see I so much, because look, see I so much conveniently they moved it up. So Emmanuel points out, that's the person talking about it, that Akhenaten was a member of the 18th dynasty in Egypt, which coexists with the divided kingdom of Israel and Judah during the 1800s BC. He was a contemporary king of Jehoshaphat in Jerusalem and reigned for 870 to 840 BC. Oklahoma still is written in Iberia Punic, and a language descended from the Phoenician Hebrew. See, look, they said, now you got Phoenician / Hebrews. Okay, all right. It's saying Barry Fells declare that it is sacredly older than 800 BC. All right, now look, let's go to another place. The Peru discoveries. In 89, it was reported that American explorer in Peru, highland jungle, has found, look, highland jungle. So this shit was in the jungles, okay? So somebody came on a boat and traveled. Stop it. Found evidence that indicate King Solomon legendary gold mines have been in that region. Huh? What do you mean, King Solomon? So you telling me when they deal with Quartermain looking for King Solomon gold, they was in Peru? Y'all don't remember that movie Quartermain with looking for King Solomon gold? He was in Peru. Hmm? And also Indiana Jones punk ass fucking thief. Look, so this in Peru. So they saying that King Sol. So we all this stuff that's people look, y'all. All right. I mean, at some point in time, you're gonna have to figure this shit out. Okay. Ain't nobody come here. These people came from. These people left from here and took this science to other places, man. That's what had to happen, man. People be picking the roof off of Africa. We just read what my man said he found here. Do we have to go back over that? Do we have to go back over that? Niggas in Africa ain't got motherfucking roads today, okay? And I ain't trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be funny, okay? I'm telling you, I never heard this before until coming into this information. So Indians had payrolls and the motherfuckers in Africa didn't? Okay, let's continue, man. That's in Peru. King Solomon legend, man. Phoenician again and Hebrew hieroglyphs. All right. Oh, shit. The San Francisco Chronicles report that hieroglyphics on the tablets are similar to the ones used in King Solomon time. And it say and include the identical to the symbol that has appeared on the ships he sent to the legendary land of Afar. I don't know what that is, which the Bible described as the source of his gold. Saver says, all right. So Saver is no newcomer to archaeology discovery. He was the discoverer of the last Inca city in hold up. Vilcambra, whatever. Saver declares that the 3 tablets, each weighing several tons and measures about 5 to 10 feet, they were found in a cave. So niggas carried that shit to a damn cave. They was found in a cave. The immense ruins of Chaka, whatever Indian civilization, which he discovered in 1985. All right, Hebrews in America 1,000 years ago. Look, we move now to Georgia. 1973, while traveling to do research for an article, I was writing the Plain Truth magazine. I visited Dr. Joseph Mahan in Atlanta, Georgia, an expert of ancient Indian enology of the southern eastern Indians. Stand up, y'all. That's us, all right? For the ones that's from the South, brother. All right, so of the United States. He showed me a sample of pottery uncovered from the waters of the Bahamas and told me that the Indian legend, including that the Yukas stating that they had, now here we go. See, these niggas find shit and then they know everything. You don't know what the fuck that meant. You don't know what that meant. You don't know. You don't know what that meant. You found that under Bahamas and you found somebody who can have, stop the bullshit. And like I said, look, I said Yucca stated that they had migrated to the area of Florida and Georgia from the regions of Bahamas. I concur with that. According to the legends of Indian of the island sink beneath the sea and they fled for their lives. Okay. The Yukas later migrated to Oklahoma territory where they eventually settled. That's bullshit. So they was they was in Florida and Georgia. Them the fucking Seminoles, man. You understand what I'm saying? They was in Florida and Georgia, and then they somehow made it to Oklahoma. And it's the Seminoles. All right. Ancient Israel, it said ancient Israelites have virtually identical customs in many respects. In the harvest season, in the fall, in the 15th day of the sacred month, the harvest, in the 7th month, they celebrate the festival of the booth. It said for 8 days. During the time they lived in a temporary booth covered with branches and leaves, fawn, and festivals go back to the time of Moses and Exodus from the ancient Egypt. Now look, they saying ancient Egypt over there. No, we saying it over here. All right. How it is two totally separate people observe the identical customs. The chances of this occurring by pure accident are equivalent to the chance of surviving a snowball in hell. Okay? Meaning it should not, meaning either it came from over here or it came from over there. Either or, and he's not qualified to tell you. Okay? Let's go to another one. Let me see something. I mean, this article has a lot along with the shit we already been talking about, man. Like, I mean, it has a lot, man. It has a lot of good information. Um, in Brazil, you find more David Solomon. You know what I'm saying? Like, you find this shit everywhere, man. You find it all over in America, but yet niggas, oh man, nah, well, yeah, they came here. Oh yeah, they came here. Let's read one more. This is Massachusetts. Let me see something. This is matter of fact, it's a bunch of them. Let me see something. That's in Massachusetts. It's saying 94 years later, in 1966, Dr. Joel Pickles, professor of Romance language of the University of Massachusetts, bought an old scrapbook at the Ramage scale containing a letter written by Nito in 1874, which contains his transcription of the marking of the stone and the tracing of the originally copy. No, I'm sorry. Tracing the original copies he had received from Coaster's son. Intrigued, Dr. Pickles brought the material to the attention of Cyrus H. Gorton. Dr. Gorton, the head of Department of Mediterranean Studies of Brandeis, the expert of ancient Semitic languages, as well as author of 13 books, was amazed. He compared the Paraba inscription with the latest work of the Phoenician writing. He discovered that it contained nuances and quirks of the Phoenician style. Okay, now, fam, like, shit is a little too heavy. This is a little too heavy, man. I'm sure. Listen to this. There's evidence. There's archaeological evidence, in fact, that fleets of Solomon and Harem and Tyre circumnavigated the globe, selling from Ezion Geber to the port terminal of the Red Sea near modern Iqaba and Elat. Hebrew customs discovered by the early English settlers in America were found among some of the Indian tribes. They talking about the people in the fucking Southeast, including the wearing of the, I can't pronounce that, something pop, the wearing of, let me look that up. Give me 1 second real quick. I want to know what the fuck that is. I can't even pronounce this shit. Let me see if I can, this word right here. Phylaceterice. Let me see. Let me look that up to be sure. I don't want to speculate. It's saying a small leather box containing Hebrew text. It's saying worn by Jewish men. It's saying at the morning prayer. So now, oh my God. Yo, Yo. Okay. A small box. Interesting. Minoan and Phoenician coins have been found, and inscriptions of ancient Phoenician and Minoan scripts in Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia. And the Star of David was even found in the ancient ruins of Pablo Indian in New Mexico in the middle of the second millennium BC and down the time of Solomon, circa 1000 BC. Oceanic travels of maritime powers in the Middle East seems to have been fairly common, y'all. Come on now. Come on, what the fuck is we reading, y'all? Like really? Let me see something. Hmm. All right, let me go to another one. Hold up. He basically saying all this shit. Man, listen, look, amazing discoveries in Mexico. We already kind of went over some of that stuff. Um, Acapulco. It's saying Von Winterno saying found early Semitic people lived in considerably numbers. It's saying the curious points about the essential primitive figures are that the first there is the emphasis on markedly Semitic Hebrew features. He discovered female figures found in the regions are also marked. I'm saying Caucasians with delicate eyebrows, small mouth. I mean, they're gonna throw that shit up in there. But we don't need that though. Now look, check this out. It's saying near Tampico, an early Tuscan culture revealed portrait heads with predominantly Semitic. It's saying white elements, but also Negro features appear at Veracruz. Meanwhile, a figurine of a female dancer, it's saying possess the features just like the French woman of Brittany. Huh? Now you found that in Veracruz, and it's saying it resembles the French woman of Brittany. It's saying she wore the headdress remnants of a Phoenician fashion. Also, the Veracruz, a figure of false beard style like an Egyptian beard, and a head, and had a snake-like protrusion through on the forehead. Huh? Now, well, yeah, we seen that one before. That's the tablets they got. And on the tablets, they do have like an Egyptian nigga with like a what's the name? Um, Let me see. All right, hold up. Let's go right here. Sir Walter Raleigh, in the history of the world, mentioned that the Indians he encountered used many Welsh words long before Welsh was known to have come to America. Linguistic studies prove that Welsh language is very considered akin to ancient Hebrew. Okay, Sir Walter Raleigh is the motherfucker that Raleigh Durham in North Carolina is named after. First, he's also the one that Queen Elizabeth gave permission to set up the first colony in Roanoke, Virginia. So these people was in Virginia. The shit is all over the place, man. It's all they just ain't giving it to us in that context. If you find it in Virginia and we find it in Georgia, Florida, and all these places, how likely is they not finding it in all of these places? You understand what I'm saying? Like, how likely is they not? They found it in Massachusetts, New York, Philadelphia, Delaware. All these places is right next to each other. I don't know if you guys know this, or you guys catching on to what the fuck is going on. All these places are right next to each other, but yet they telling you that these people came from somewhere else. But all these places are found within the Indian. My God. My God, my God, my God. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, you guys. All right, I think I'm gonna stop. Let me see, unless I find something else that's interesting like that. I mean, but for the most part, come on, man. Let's stop this bullshit, man. This shit was already here, man. All this shit, these people were here. They're probably trying to just hide that the fact that the people who are these people are here. South America is saying the Hebrews and Phoenician inscriptions again. Oh my God, finding it all over the place. So you find these shits in damn near every damn state or whatever. But you saying, oh no, but they're not breaking them down like that. They're not putting the states next to each other and going from state to state where they found it at. Let me see. Now look, it say Marion Edward River, Rivero is saying, and John James Von, whatever his fuck his name is, Peruvian Antiquities of 1857 point out that after the most thorough examination of the many comparison of religion rites of the American Indians, plainly presents points of agreements with those of Hebrew people. Now look, of course they want to say that. It say continue authors like the Jews and the Indians, their first fruit. It said they keep their new moon and the feast of the expansions at the end of September or the beginning of October. It said they divide the year into 4 seasons corresponding with the Jewish festivals. In some parts of North America, circumcision is practiced. There is also much analogy between the Hebrews and Indians in which concerns various rites and customs. It's saying such as the ceremonies of the purifications, the use of a bath. Look, they was already giving motherfuckers baptisms here or whatever. Ceremonies with a bath. It's saying fasting, manner of prayer. The Indian likewise obscured from blood of animals. And also fish without scales. They can look. What the fuck is you talk? Look. Let's listen to this. It's saying, but understand that's not all Indians because we read that the Gullah they ate shrimp and grits and they ate fish with scales. So that's not all Indians. Okay, that's only some of them. All right. But saying Indians likewise abstain from blood of animals, and saying as also the fish without scales. They consider diving quadruped unclean, also birds, reptiles, and they unaccustomed to offer as the Holocaust firstlings of the flock. I don't know what the fuck that refers to. Um, let's see what else we got. Why should it seem strange? All right, so let's read through this. Let's see if this is kind of a conclusion of what he believed. Though such evidence does not prove that Indians themselves were Jews. Like, of course they're gonna say that. Even though you find all of this ancient Hebrew over here, you just created that whole state over there in the 1900s, but you find all this stuff over here, but yet you ain't qualified to say that these people here, because that might piss somebody off. Now, look, it's saying Israel does not show that long before Columbus, Hebrews have reached the New World. It's saying and had their imprint upon the inhabitants. There undoubtedly was intermarriages, such as incredible parallels are between the remotest possibility of being due to mere chance. Why should it seem strange that people of ancient world, in particular Phoenicians and Hebrew, reached the New World and traveled to South America and even the Pacific? It is really so incredibly. The trouble of most of us is the present generations have been brainwashed to think that ancients were merely superstition savages terrified of selling out of the seas, least they will fall off the edge of the earth. It's saying, but the Phoenicians have already sailed out beyond the pillars of Hercules Stratus. It's saying they developed a kill streamlined their ships. It's saying covered the docks and improved the sail. Their ships were from 80 to 100 feet long and used a single square sail between the oar. It's saying their ships could average 100 miles a day. It's saying time. It's saying 24 hours. They was busy traders, commerce. It's saying it was the principal aim. Tyre and Sidon, their home port was the city immense wealth. Did ancient Phoenicians reach the New World? The evidence is inescapable. Okay, I mean they was already here. I don't believe they reached it. I believe they're trying to cover the fact up that if this shit started from here, that people you already know. All right. And like I said, man, shout out to the brother Obashango, man, because this brother definitely, that's my research, man. By some of these articles, some of these peer reviewed joints, man, definitely can be used. Um, this is a pretty decent. This is a pretty decent article right here, and for people like a lot of you guys, that's real Bible sound and people, the verses, the scriptures well. Like I read the Bible a couple times. I never studied it though. You understand what I'm saying? I never studied it. See, a Bible is not a book. It's something that you have to study. You know what I'm saying? And you have to use the Bible with history too, because history has stuff that's not in the Bible, and you can connect the dots as well. All right. So, like I said, man, they found it in Massachusetts. I believe it said something about New Hampshire, New York. They just said Delaware, Pennsylvania. New Jersey's right next to Delaware and Pennsylvania. All right. Virginia. Sir Walter Raleigh said that the people there had Hebrew inscriptions there or whatever. So I would believe it would be the Powhatans or whatever, or the Powhatans or the Power, whatever their real original term was. All right, so let's go to something else. All right, this is another joint I found. I'm not going to touch on this entirely, but this is the ancient gladiator ritual boxing in ancient Mesoamerica. When I get a chance, I come back to it. Just wanted to just present that to the people. Let me see what this is. Let me see what this is. Oh, this is Benjamin Franklin document right here. And when you get down, right here towards the end, look, he said, which lead me to add the number of purely white people in the world is proportionally very small. It's saying all Africa is black or tawny. It's saying Asia is chiefly tawny. America willingly so. It's saying America. It's saying the newcomers, but it's saying willingly so. So it's giving reference to the terms that they used prior to when they got into America, right? But this is I'm gonna break this down one day. Um, I gotta see if that's the original joint though. But let me see what this is. All right, hold up. All right, it's another good joint right here. I want to definitely touch on this one right here. All right, so this is a little. This is something I found about Louisiana, right? Now I'm saying Louisiana has a secret to share with you. The state has the oldest earthen mounds in North America, even older than Stonehenge or the Great Pyramids. Okay. Okay, it said our rich and diverse environment has lured people to hunt and fish to those hills, bayous, and streams. It's saying and lakes for thousands of years. Okay, now I just wanted to because I had that pulled up already, but they're saying that the mounds there are older than Stonehenge and the Great Pyramid. Now, for somebody to say that, I mean they had to do some research. All right, it's another article basically telling you now look, even though in some articles they tell you, matter of fact, you know what, hold up, look, let me just retouch on this real quick. It's another joint. And it said cranial morphology of early American from the Laguna Santa, Brazil, implications for the settlements of the New World. All right, so this is by Walter Neves and Mark Hubby. Now we already know what Walter Neves think of it, all right. But it's saying comparative morphology studies of the earliest human skeletons of the New World have shown that whereas late prehistoric, recent, and present Native Americans tend to exhibit a cranial morphology similar to late and modern Northern Asians, short and wide, whatever noses, broad faces, and relatively high and narrow orbit and noses. It's saying that listen to this. The earliest South Americans tend to be more similar than present Australian, Melanesian, and South Sub-Saharan Africans. Now listen, now look, listen to this. Listen, people. Listen, right? He's saying that the oldest fucking skulls that they found in South America, right, is resembling these people, which we already went over, but we're gonna go a little, we're gonna go on some more articles that's gonna touch, right? Now look, listen to this, right? He's saying look more similar. So that must mean that they could not have took the DNA of these people because he giving you speculation by saying they look similar to Australian Melanesians and sub-Saharan Africans. Do the people that's in the Americans favor all of these people? Do they not favor at least all of these people? Now, like I said, that's why I pulled up that art. That's why I pulled up the this right here. Look, this is the pure Melanesian race right here, my dude. Okay, I mean, so so the oldest skeletons once again resemble these people right here, right? Which we resemble, dummies, because they're using the word Melanesian and they're using these other terms. Look, this motherfucker, right? I mean, I'm sorry, sister. Rest in peace, sister. Whatever. We don't know whether or not she was enslaved, or what. Because obviously, for somebody to take this picture, they had to be colonized. So we don't know what hell she went through. So, sister, right here, rest in peace. She might have reincarnated back to this plane already. We don't know. But what we do know is they saying it's pure Melanesian race. Now, look, the earliest South American. Now they saying they already gave you the breakdown of what they think that the Native American, but they saying South America, the earliest present Australian, Melanesians, and Sub-Saharan Africans. Okay? Now, if you resemble people who was already in South America, then how are you getting DNA from Sub-Saharan African? I mean, hold up. I mean, let me go to the chat room because I don't know. Look, where we at? Are we still on? You said sub-Saharan African. Under Sahara was West African in Negro land, was it not? I mean, I don't know how you. I don't understand how you referring that. It doesn't even matter because these bones they found here go back to damn near tens of thousands of years. Now hold up, it don't even matter because like, look, okay, the flim flam. Okay, we know the flim flam kicks in, right? So, but they saying the earliest all Black Americans resemble at least one of these people. So, whether it's Australian, which, like I said, I don't even that Australian. I don't know where they getting that from because they not doing no DNA to with the Australians because if they was, they would get a genetic match or like I said, according to their science. Obviously, the science is not. I don't know. Maybe it's just upon observation of doing a bust of recreating in the impressions of the skulls. But we do know this. Saying earliest South Americans tend to be more similar to Australians. Let's just put that on the left right here. Melanesians and Sub-Saharan African. We have people here that look like Melanesians and Sub-Saharan Africans. That's a fucking fact. Okay? That's a fact. Now, hold up. Now, like I said, it goes even more. Now, look, check this out. Information derived from several comparative morphology studies of the earliest human skeletons of the continent has suggested a complex scenario in regards to an influx of humans in the New World, which is published as supporting information on the PNAS website for recent support of the use of cranial morphology. Let me go get some water real quick, y'all, before I even go any further. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right. Now, like I said, all right. So now look, website cranial morphology as a legitimate tool to recover recent human evolution history, whereas late prehistoric, recent, and present Native Americans trend to exhibit a cranial morphology similar to late modern Northern Asians, which they talked about. All right. But they're going back right here. I'm gonna see right here. It's saying the most latter is known in the literature of Paleo-American morphology. However, most studies carried out as far regarding the morphology of the first Americans were based on cranial samples because human burials older than 8,000 are rarely found in America, especially in North and Central America. In this paper, all right, it's saying in this paper, the morphology affinities of early South American are assessed to be used in larger samples of American skulls, even study. Now, this is what I was telling the asshole when we debated them fucking brainwashed fucking Hispanic or whatever the fuck they claim. They wasn't Indians. They wasn't Indians or whatever. But when we was debating them, matter of fact, one of them was a Mongoloid, two of them was Negroes, and one of them didn't know what the fuck he was. But when we was debating them, they kept telling me that, oh no, these people was Asian. These people was Asian. Now look, this one article. Check this out. Oh, your boy come with the jewel. Look, this another one right here. I ain't gonna. I'm looking for the main one. I'm looking for. I'm not even looking. Look. Check this out. Excuse me. It's another article. Look, it's saying accessed, when accessed within the comparative frame of the wide world craniometric human variation. Early American groups show morphology affinities with some Australian, Melanesian, and African samples. Okay? Now it's saying while most groups share a morphology present observed, it's saying today among the recent. Now he's saying most American Indians, meaning the people who they think are Indians, saying that their morphology pattern observed today are more or among recent East Asian population groups. Now that's Nev speaking that again. Now hold up, let me see something. That's another article. Now they sent people in to try to get them to divert the conversation. But if they telling you, listen, let me tell you something. The word Melanesian means dark. Okay, melanin. If we think melanin means dark, then Melanesian is the home of melanin, right? But we don't have to. And see what niggas is going to do is this, right? They're gonna say, well, you're not Melanesian. Your DNA don't match up to be the Melanesians. You don't know that. And scientists don't know that. But one thing they can say, they don't know whether these people was Melanesians, Africans, or Australians. They just saying that they was dark. They don't know where they came. They giving us three different people. So, and these three different people from three different parts. One is in the Southeast Pacific. One is in Africa. The other one is in Australia. You know, my three different landmass. Well, technically, Africa is Southeast or Asia, whatever you want to fucking call it. If you want to say that, or it's on the same land plane or whatever, and it's on the same land plane. All of that shit. Okay. Now, let me see something. Let's go to another article. Well, this is the old joint right here. Y'all have seen this one before, but we don't need to go there. Now, this is another one, pretty much the same one. But well, all right, this is another one. Let me see if I can find the other one. No, that ain't what I'm looking for. Now, this is another article right here talking about the discovery changes beliefs on human arrivals in America. Why would it change belief on human arrivals in America? And like I said, these people writing about this shit because they, like I said, Europeans lied to them. This ain't no history. You just going when you find out that the people in Brazil was already there, that's gonna really fuck you up. All right, hold up. All right, hold up. I wanted to read something real quick. Hold up. Trying to find it right here. All right, but I mean, I don't have to read the article to point out what I want to say. It's another article, okay? It's saying, check this out. Researchers here say they have unearthed stone tools proving that humans reached northeast Brazil 22,000 years ago. Their discovery adding to the growing body of research impending and prevailing belief of the 20th century archaeology in the United States, known as the Clovis model, which holds that people first arrived in America from Asia about 13,000 years ago. If they're right, and there a great possibility that they are, that will change everything we know about the settlements of America. Now it's Walter Neves again, okay? Um, but you know what he says? He says that they look like either Africans or Aborigine Australians more than they look like Asians. But you know, like I said, let's go to another article. I got another one right here. That's another one. All right, this is the one I wanted to touch on. All right, so this is early population. Now look, hold up. Listen to this. This is what my man was talking about right here, right? He said that these people, when we was debating, this is where the argument went. This is when the so-called discussion, because it wasn't a debate, it was very unorganized, but it is what it is. The point was out there. For the most part, this is when shit went left. When I just said, you know what, these niggas is full of shit. They not accepting none of the information that's being put out there. They rambling over everything and giving me their personal opinion. I'm reading the facts to what I'm reading. I'm not coming into this stuff with no. I'm coming into a believing black people was here, but that's based. That's supported by facts of what I'm reading and pictures and evidence of black people being here already. Now, we went left when we was talking about the Fugo, the Patagonians, right? Now we was talking about them, and if you go back and you guys remember, I went back and showed you pictures of them, right? Now I want to show you something. I want to show you what they saying that their DNA resemble. Give me a second, y'all. I'm trying to find it. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to, because I had to start from the top. It's giving you the genetic sequence in which they got. Let's see. All right. I think it's down a little bit. All right, so let me read this right here. Maybe we can start from here. All right, so it says ascribe to the Amerindian haplogroup C or D, given their substitution at the MP, whatever. We're gonna skip through some of the words. I just want to get to the text of it. Saying as expected in Lusa, whatever. None of these samples show lineage characteristics of haplogroups A or B. Independent sequences were obtained for both DNA strands, and the results was consistent in all cases. The single mutation points present in the researcher was discarded from the sequence analysis to prevent overestimation of the mitochondrial DNA. The polymorphism is saying as a group The 24 Fuegians sequence analysis showed that 19 polymorphic sites belong to 17 distinctive lineages, 15 of which can be considered single sequence, not cluttered for the other non-Fuegian lineages. A comparative sequence database built, including whatever it's saying, Indians, it's saying with haplogroups A, B, or C, or D, 19 haplogroups X. I mean, I know some of you guys don't understand it, but I just want to just tell you what the people who they comparing them to. It's saying 9, it's saying 11 Asian, it's saying Hana Korean, and 22 South African. Okay? It's now like they don't have to be from Africa for them to have these groups, all right? So understand that. Meaning if the DNA matches up with them, meaning that these people either came from there or these people have the same DNA, either or, however you want to look at it. All right. But it's saying the African sequence from a clear out group, and while some Asian lineage cluster closer to African stocks. Okay, so it says some Asian lineage cluster closer to African stocks, others do not. The Fuegian cluster scattered throughout the Amerindian stock by haplogroup, meaning that they probably mixed with other people. The reason why they getting readings from other haplogroups, meaning because there's a lot of different people in South America, and remember the Germans came there too. But I mean, definitely, my man kept saying Asian, and I'm like, yo, wait a minute, these people is black. Whether or not we took their DNA, these people would have been classified as colored no matter what you say. Before you pulled out any microscope or any blood or took any blood sequence, they look like Negroes. So that means that if somebody came along, they will call them a Negro. So I just wanted to just point that out there. I didn't want to go in depth with it because the shit is like you have to really break out a damn science dictionary. All right, so this saying genetic evidence for two founding populations of the Americas. All right, you see, Department of Genetics, Harvard Medical School. Excuse me, y'all. Cambridge, Massachusetts. All right, now look, this is an abstract. It's saying genetic science studies have been consistent with a single common origin of Native American groups from Central and South America. However, the morphology studies have suggested a more complex picture where B, the Northeast Asian affinities of present-day Native American contrast with distinctive morphologies seen in some of the earliest American skeleton, which share traits to present-day Australian indigenous groups and Melanesian. It's saying islands of Southeast Asian. All right. Now, I just showed you what these people look like. See, they don't have to say they Africans. We know what the people of Melanesian look like. This right here. I mean, is this not a pure Melanesian right here with a damn afro? Is it? Is this not a Melanesian with an afro? Now look. Let's go back out. Let me see something. Let's take out. Now we're in Southeast. Let's go to just Melanesian. Let's go here alone. Let's not do a vague search. Let's go in depth. All right. So you got the people of Solomon Islands. Okay. You got the kids with the blonde little hair. Now these jokers, besides the blonde hair, look just like niggas. Look just like us here. And the little nigga shave his hair off. This nigga could be your grandson or your nephew or anybody, right? You see this brother right here? Now, you see how this brother look right here? You would think that this brother was mixed. But this is an indigenous Melanesian. This is what the Melanesian look like. And this nigga look like a black American. Okay? This nigga look like a black American, y'all. I mean, I don't know if you niggas take that thing out his nose and you already know what you got. Now we done been down this fucking rabbit hole before. Brother Lex Wilden been here. Look at the sister right here. Look at the sister. Come on now. I mean, the gig is up. Come on now. These is like they look just like us. Okay. Now that's one of the group of people. Now look at this. Now you telling me you ain't got cousins that look like this right here? I mean, you telling me you ain't got cousins that look like that? And you see what it's saying are black people the true natives of America, right? Now look how she look. Look how she look. Now these are the Melanesians. These are what the Melanesians look. The Melanesians look more like us than fucking Africans, bro. But you've been told you're from over there when they telling you that they found people here, the oldest bones and the oldest relics look like these. So this would make sense. So these people, so the people that's already in South America that favor these people, oh, they Africans? Come on now. So it wasn't no remnants of none of these skulls you found in South America. None of that people survived. All of the people dead, right? Come on, son. And I'm sorry, yo. Like, look, maybe I'm wrong about something. Maybe I'm not catching something, bro. Or maybe white people did go in there and mix in with them. I'm not going to say that they didn't yet until we redo some research and check it out. Let me see. Oh no, that's that. Hold up. That's somebody else, baby. Sorry about that, y'all. But look, this nigga right here. This nigga like Lord Jamal. Look, look, look. Stop. Look at this. Look at this nigga. Look at him. And these niggas, I mean, look, look. Polynesian, look, look. Solomon Islands. I mean, look, hold up. Let me see something real quick. Hey, listen. Hey, P, man, I sent you the link, man. Why you ain't come in, man? Hey, look, listen. Now, we just pulled up all these articles of so-called anthropologists and motherfuckers who really do the research, right? And they saying that even if they don't tell you that they look like Africans, they say they look like Australian Melanesians, right? So boom. I just pulled up like, hold on, let's go back. This is one. I think I started like right here somewhere. I started back. Hold on. I was here first. I did the Louisiana joint. Then I went to this one. Then I went to this one. Then I skipped over this one. We read a little bit over that one. And then we are here now, right? So, okay. Now let's just recap this. Let's go back because they're gonna make it sound vague. Okay, they're gonna make it sound very vague because you find Asian groups in Melanesian, you will think that them are the original people. No, them are people who came. They're just like the people that's in. The reason why the Hawaiians look like they look because the Japanese went in there and was mating with them. You find this shit. Yo, listen, when you study this shit, you find in a lot of these countries that when they was conquered, they allowed a lot of these Asian countries to go in and do what they did. Now, hold up. This is another article, okay, that's telling you that the earliest skeletons which share traits with present-day Australian indigenous group Australian and Melanesians and the islands of Southeast Asia. Now, when you Google, now let's do a Southeast Asian search. Now let's do a Southeast Asian search. Let's see if it come up under that right there. See if it come up under this money grip. Money grip. Let's see if it. Now these people look more Asian, right? Even though these are the Grimoti. You see this, the Desan people. Let me see something. Now look, you see that Asian? He got an afro. Let me see something. Nah, hold up. Now let me go hold up. Let me do it the other way. All right, let me see. Afro. Let's put Afro South Asian. Let's put it in that way. Maybe it come up better. Aha, there you go. Pretty much some of the same pictures, with exceptions to some. But assumingly, let me see something. Now, where is this at? Excuse me. That's probably a Southeast Asian island too. Right here, look. Look, Indonesian. Look. Look. Now, I've seen plenty of black people look just like her. This is Indonesia. They had nappied in a motherfucker. Arthur Lewis a good. He be putting some good information out there, brother Arthur Lewis book. Let's see something else. Oh well, nah, we don't need to even do that because we got these already. We got sub-Saharan Africa. We got Melanesian people that look just like us. Minus some of them might have blonde hair, and some of them might even have straight hair with some of the admixtures. Okay, but the majority of people we seeing that's in these, like, look at this whole tribe right here. Look, let me see something. Oh, all right. Well, it's Melanesian people, Ephesian, not Africans. Yeah, we know they're not Africans. The white man calling everybody African because he don't want you to know that these people was already here. Now, this sister has to be from one of them islands, and look at her pretty ass afro. What's this? Let me see this. All right, so this is Malaysia. This is the Philippines. This is the Islands, which this is where they went to that place where they got shot up. This is Thailand. This is New Zealand. This is Australia. This is Fiji. Look at the Fiji guy, my dude. We done seen this picture before. This nigga look just like, oh my God, my God. Like, come on, bro. You see people who look just like you in these islands where they're saying that they're from. Oh yeah, they done fucked us over mentally, right? Because think about it like this, right? Think about it like this, right? You see more people from some of them regions that look like us than actual Africans. And I'm not saying everybody look like the people in these islands. I'm not saying that because we got some dark skinned brothers here. I'm not saying everybody look like that, but look, they gave you in between these people, all of these different tribes, and he's also mentioned sub-Saharan African. Okay, and he also mentions sub-Saharan African. Now, I have yet to find any Black American who look just like one of these. I mean, do you guys know any Black Americans who look just like a sub-Saharan African? Let me see something. Let's go to the Do you guys know any Black Americans that resemble one of them sub-Saharan Africans? Press 1 if you do. Or do you see more Black people who look more like the people of Melanesian and them people over there? I'm asking y'all in the chat room. Tell me what you think. All right, then. All right. And you know the funny thing is, y'all, look, they keep telling you that the people they find didn't look like either Australian or Melanesian or they don't know. They don't even know. They just know these people got features of what you consider Negroes to be, right? Now hold up. Let's move on from this one. Let's move on from this one. All right. Let me see something. All right, I want to read through some of this. Just give me 1 second, y'all. Go ahead, just take a break, y'all, real quick. I'm gonna rock out probably in another 30 minutes or whatever. I have some things I gotta do. I'm still here with y'all. All right. So now look. So let me go back up a little bit more. All right, so I'm gonna read through that right there. I'm gonna read through the abstract. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna read through the entire abstract. All right. All right. So genetic studies have been consistent with a single common origins of Native American groups from Central and South America. However, the morphology studies have suggested a more complex picture where the Northeast Asian affinities and present-day Native American contrast the distinctive morphology seen in some of the earliest American skeletons, which share traits which present-day Australian indigenous groups in Australian Melanesian and and island Southeast Asian. It's saying here we analyze the genome wide data to support that some Amazonian Native Americans descend partly from Native Americans found in population that carries ancestry more closely related to indigenous Australians, New Guineans, and Amadin Island. Now, what did I just show you? What did the people in Amadin Island look like? Look, let's go back up. Oh, no, this wasn't it. Hold up. This one? Was it this one or was it this one? All right, right here. These are Amadin Islands right here. The Andaman Islands, rather. They right here. These are the people from the Jawa people, and some of them people are the people from the Andaman Islands. All right. So you see what they look like. They're giving you 3 different people. Look at all these people. All these people look like Black Americans, okay? With exception to this Australian guy. All right. So now let's go back and let's read through some more of this, right? All right. So eminent islands. It's saying then to present day Eurasians or Native American. It's saying the signature is not present to the same extent or at all in present day Northern or Central America or a 12,600-year-old Clovis genome, suggesting a more diverse setting and founding population of America than previously accepted. All right. So now look, let's go down. We're not done. Let's go down. All Native American groups studied to date a trait. No, to date. No, I'm sorry. All American groups studied on to this date can be traced all or much ancestry to a single ancestry population that look likely migrated across. This is what they saying, right? Let me skip over because we already know about this, right? But look, it's saying of the ancestry to more recent waves of migration, right? Now hold up. Hmm. Ancient genomic evidence has shown that this so-called first African ancestry is present and an individual associated with the Clovis technology. Is saying from North American dating to 12,600 years ago, and the mitochondriac DNA has suggested that it was also present by 13,000, 14,500 years ago, right? It's saying in contrast, some morphology analysis of early skeletons in America has suggested that the characteristic of the Paleocene and Heliocene skeleton falls outside variations of present-day Native Americans, and instead within the variations of present-day in indigenous Australian, Melanesian, and so-called Negritos, groups from Southeast Asian and some South Sub-Saharan African groups. Now listen, now I don't know. Maybe people stupid because all of them people look like us. All of them look like us. All right. So you don't have to easy. Like I said, either the DNA is a fucking false, which I already know it's a fraud, which is going to pick up anybody who has some similar genetic codes to another person. It's going to be consistent. But guess what though? When you take the DNA from your own child, I've heard scientists say that in some cases they had to take DNA from a paternal to from a father to son or son or whatever. They had to take it like up to 3 or 4 times because sometimes the shit wasn't matching. And I know people who took what's the name that had to take them twice. The first time they took it, and then they took it again, and something else came up. That's how you know the DNA shit is some bullshit. Okay, but now look, they telling you all the skeletons they find in South America resemble Melanesian. Now, when you look around, you got Jamaicans that could resemble a sub-Saharan African or Melanesian. You got Haitians that can resemble. Well, I ain't gonna say a lot of. Even though Jamaicans be dark, they don't have the African features like them. They don't have like them. Africans got their own look to them. Them are not a look that we have, or even the people in the Caribbean have. Okay, but you find people from what they assume to be sub-Saharan Africans to Negritos to Melanesian groups, my dude. And that's where they fucking us over. Because they not giving you, and they telling you where you specifically from. But they not throwing no Melanesian DNA in there. If this shit, like I said, which we already know that there's some inconsistencies with the whole sequence to how they do it. All right. But like I said, now this is another one, right? That tells you the same thing, right? Hold up. Give me 1 second, y'all. I don't even want to read the rest of it because it's going to pretty much tell you everything. It's going to tell you the same thing. If I go down, it's a pretty lengthy article, man. And when I go down, it's going to explain why they saying that. Now, like I said, to one person, you would think this, right? If the people from Southeast Asia, they would have the same DNA as the fucking Mongoloids, man. They from Asia. Ain't the Mongoloids from Asia? So why the people from the Melanesians and the Negritos and the Southeast Asians don't have the same DNA as the Mongoloids? That's how you know they lying. That's how you know that they playing around with us. Hmm? You tell me. Now you tell me why. You tell me why the fuck don't. If all of them, because figure like this, let's be for real, right? With the exception to Australia, we can clearly say that people out of Melanesia, the Negritos, and the people of Southeast Asia should have the same haplogroups to some of the Mongoloids, right? So why don't they look alike? Interesting, right? Because when the people from Southeast Asia had the same DNA as the Mongoloids, being though they just south of Asia, they on the same place. Shouldn't they have some genetic similarities? That's how you know they fucking with you. And I'm telling you, though, that's how you know they fucking with you, right? Look. The funny shit is this, right? The people who they saying they found here in America, they don't have to say Africans no more. Even though we know that in some cases they tell you that they found Africans, they tell you sub-Saharan Africans, and they tell you Australians, right? But why the fuck the motherfucking sub-Saharan, Southeast Asians don't have the same DNA as some of the Mongoloids? Because they get said that modern Native Americans have northern Asian northern Asian DNA, right? Or they match, they have similarities to them, right? So why Northeast and Southeast Asian don't have the same DNA, even though they're on the same fucking place? Because it has to be either Southeast Asian was inhabited by black people, or was inhabited by the same people? Because you would think that people who came south came somehow from north. We do it all the time. We travel from north to south all the time. So you think somebody in South Carolina who moved to Connecticut, DNA ain't gonna match up with somebody, family members who they still got in South Carolina? You said my mic. Oh, sorry, my mic is low. My bad. Y'all can hear me better now? That's right. That's right. That's right, Empress. Hope is peace, sis. Look, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know. I'm not qualified. I'm not giving no speculations out. I'm just reading the information. All I know is that it was black people here. All of the in-betweens, I'm not even trying to get into, man. I don't even know. I don't know what the fuck happened in the Americas. All right. All I know is that they giving us a bunch of confusion, and a lot of us are confused, and I'm confused. Shit, I'm not exempt from this shit. I'm confused too. I might contradict myself and have to correct myself in the next video. I don't know. Negro science. The Moors believe they descendants of Phoenicians, man. So if the Phoenicians was here, then that tell you. And what I just read saying that they had an empire, they had a worldly empire. I mean, so these Indians that's here that think that they was just in individual groups don't recognize that they was part of a bigger empire, not just a fucking individual. Fuck a Cherokee. That ain't about nothing. You more than just a Cherokee. Look, I'm sorry, my brother. Trifecta Records. I don't know what the Phoenicians. They said the Phoenicians study Hebrew and Phoenician and something else. I don't know. They could have studied Islam too. We don't know if Phoenicians a group of people. Like I said, it's a lot of confusion until you do individual research on the Phoenicians entirely. Then I mean, I haven't done no individual research on them, but that's next. Next week, we're going to study. I know Phoenix. I know. Phoenix, I know. And it might have something to do with Phoenix, Arizona. I don't know. Because Phoenix, Arizona is a desert. I don't know. Like I said, it's a lot of shit in Americas that we don't understand. I don't know. Bro, I'm just saying, man, like real talk. You all right, so let's go back into this shit, man. Let's go back into this, man. Excuse me. All right, so we're clear on this. Another article that showed you the same thing. All right. So this was the other article. Let me see something. Hold up. I think that's it right there. Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, shit. We done went through. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then look, 6, 7. These are all different articles. These ain't the same fucking articles, y'all. Look, look. These are all different articles. All of them. Along with everything what we got already. I think I covered what I was trying to cover too, for the most part. Just to shut down any further body coming through with the nah, bro. These niggas is niggas, man. These is niggas right here. So stop trying to throw us off with by saying Melanesian. We ain't gonna see people there who look like us too. Cause that's what they try to do. But these niggas, they done caught on by you saying Africans, meaning they gonna agree. Let's say that they Melanesian. Oh no, the people Melanesian look just like us too. And these people should have the same DNA as the Africans. Why don't they have the same DNA as the Africans? Why? You tell me. Their DNA should say African too, right? Since niggas is already saying that they can't, they was there 50,000, they left Africa 50,000 years ago. So shouldn't their DNA have some African in it too? See, they playing with us, man. They playing with us. They telling you people who look just like you don't have the same genetic makeup as you, man. Which you can look at them and tell they got the same genetic makeup. You can look at them and tell they got the same genetic makeup. And I say, and there's some people who you may look like that may have genetic makeup similar to yours, but they also probably mixed with something else. But for the most part, like I said, look, the people from that region, man. Let's run through a few of these pics, man, before we get up out of here, man. Look. People from the Fijis, my dude, look at this shit. Let's hold up. Let's see if we can view the page. Let's see if it's some more. Hold on for a second, people. Give me 1 second. Let me answer this phone call. Sorry, that was my wife. All right, so let me see something. Let's see what they doing here. Excuse me. Hmm. Okay, so now it's obvious. Now, look, listen. It's obvious that the two on the right are not the same. I mean, I'm saying they. She's probably mixed with some of that, but they not the same fucking people, bro. They're not the same. They don't have the same fucking texture hair, man. And I'm sorry, but they don't. They don't. They don't. They don't have the same texture hair. So which one? Look at their hair wavy, and look at her hair straight. I don't give a fuck what you say or whatever. I look with my eyes, man. I don't look with or no make believe shit. Because I know people who got straight hair too, but most of the people who got straight hair got white in them. They don't want to say it. Ain't nobody I know that got straight hair that don't have white in them. I know niggas who directly mix with Negroes who still don't have straight hair. They might have a different, their hair might be a lighter texture, but they still don't have straight hair. Then I know some Negroes who got straight hair. So it varies, but we know where it's coming from. These two people, she looked similar to them. Yes. Okay. I know y'all be like, yo, A1 be bugging. Nah, I really don't. I'm just going by what I see, man. I'm going by what I see. I know some of these pictures up here is lighter people with curlier texture hair. But what is the influence of another race in them? It has to be an influence of another race somewhere down the line, whether it's Asian or European. Let me see, is that it? Look. Solomon Island, look. Look. Now, we see Negroes that look like him. I know Negroes that look like him. You go in the South, you're going to find Negroes who look like him. It's a more common picture you normally see. The sister right here, Fijis. The Fijis is in Southeast Island, Southeast Asia. Hold on for a second. Hello? Yeah. Now look. Now look at the Australians, right? Now, there is some people here that might have some features like them, but look at how the Australians look. They got a more distinct look out of all these people. And you would know if it was people who was mixed with them. Like, look how they look. Have you ever seen anybody in any of the Americas that look like that? Outside, I'm talking about a whole group of individuals. I mean, he got like a little Maxwell going on here. But Maxwell got a funny face. Ain't too many black people look like Maxwell. I'm talking about the singer, man. Sister, we looked at that one already. What is that? She looked like my daughter a little bit. You understand? Like, look. Is it? Man, these some beautiful people, man. I ain't, man, fuck all that. I'm not, I love my black. These some beautiful people, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they, like I said, they favor us. They favor us more than Africans do. Look, this nigga look like my father a little bit, man. It's a fact. This nigga look like my father a little bit, y'all. And this nigga look like this little guy right here look like my nephew. You understand? Like, I mean, so don't try to fake us out with they came from Melanesian. Oh, they look like Melanesians. These motherfuckers look more like us than them damn Africans do. Yeah, man. They be trying. They be getting niggas too, man. Now look, and also take this, also understand this too, right? If you look throughout the Americas, was it Colombia, was it Venezuela, was it Guatemala, was it any of them Honduras, Belize, fucking Dominica, Puerto Rico, Cuba, you gonna find somebody who look just like all these people that's in the Southeast Islands, bro. You gonna find if they don't look like someone in the Southeast Island, they gonna look like somebody from the continent of Africa, and that's a fact. And that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, like I mean, let me see if I can get some more pictures up real quick. Let me see to show me some more. Look, look. Oh, that's the picture right there. Well, you know what? Let's click on this real quick. Let's see this video real quick. Let's see what they talking about right here on this video. Well, they must have took the shit down. Whoever made the video. Okay, that ain't there no more. I know. What the fuck is my man name? One go ahead. He had a video talking about the people from the Melanesians in the Southeast Island. And like I said, so all of the anthropologists, whether they say you look like an African or you look like Southeast Island, them people look like us, whether either or. They the ones who trying to make you be confused by you picking, saying no, I'm an African. Even though we showing you people who look just like us here. We showing you that all the scientists saying that the earliest Native American. So that would mean that it was Indian tribes that here would be resemble Negroes. A lot of them. Because that's in South America alone. It's more people in South America than it is in North America. And that's a fact. It's only what, 355 million people in North America. In Brazil alone, it's almost 250 million people. Okay? In Brazil alone. And that ain't got nothing to do with Central America coming down. Or nah, that ain't got nothing to do with that. Just in Brazil alone, there's fucking almost 200, almost 300 million people there. You understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know. Are we still on? Let me make sure we still on, because this is giving me a hard time. Let me see. Nah, we still on? right, we still good. All right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, we just pretty much covered all that about the Hebrewic and the Phoenicians, and then what the people look like, man. At the end of the day, let me see if I got anything else I want to touch on before we keep it moving. At this one. All right. Oh, you know what? Let me see. Let me click through some of this stuff real quick. Nah, that's another video. Article. That's my people's. Let me see. Oh, all right. So here, let me see. All right, let me read through this one real quick. This is an interesting one. All right, so listen, they're gonna give reference to Moors, and they're gonna say a lot of stuff in here. If you don't agree with it, then you just keep it moving. But just know that these people are Negroes or classified as what we consider to be Negroes. So like I said, that's the whole purpose. Cultural and all the extra stuff, I ain't even really getting into all that. But for the most part, I'm just trying to show you the different, with some of the different, because religion is culture. Okay, so I'm not gonna like go there with that because religion is culture. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, this is telling you pretty much. I don't. You know what? This is not what I wanted to read, even though that it do have some jewels in it. Let me see something real quick. Shit. Let me see. What's this? Oh, all right. That's the same one. We'll put this out. This was a good book too. The Five Letters of Code. Um, this book. Let me see something. Hold up. The Letters of Codes. This is a good book too, and this tells you about like how when they got into South America, what they found there. A white guy. This is a good book too. Let me just see something real quick. See, look, Mexico City, right? Mexico plans of Mexico City, right? Let me see something. Let me show y'all something real quick. This is what the plans is in a book of what Mexico City look like. Hold on, let me see something real quick. It's pretty much telling you what they was doing, and they telling you how they was fucking running down on them niggas, man. They made war with them, and they was running down on them. I read, like I said, I read about 10 pages of this, and I started really getting into it. But then I started going into something else, like I'm doing now. You see, I'm jumping around now, right? Um, I'll touch on this another time when I get a little bit more acquainted with it. But let me see something. I have some other stuff up there that I could just touch over. This one. We touched on this one. Humans lived in North America 130,000 years ago. Um, you know what? And look, this the book about the Gullah, right? And it tells you. Let me see something real quick. Let me see. What's after this? Hold on, I want to show y'all something real quick while we was on this. I'm still with y'all. Just give me a second, y'all. I'm trying to find a part when they show you the diet. Like, this is the Gitche Gullah people, right? And I just found, let me see something. All right, hold up. Is this it? No. No. Let me see. Let me see. Let me go back to the beginning. All right, so this what it says. It says the archaeologist and history of the biochemical investigation of the Gullah Aborigines of the Georgia Coast Strand. Okay, now this is in 1975. He calling them Aborigines. You understand what I'm saying? He calling the Gullah Aborigines, right? But the people there, the Gitche Gullah people, saying they came from Africa, right? Now, this is just another thing. I got a video on this. We touched on this. I even talked to Queen Quet, and I sense like some, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even want to go there. But let me see something real quick. I'm looking for the diets real quick. I just want to read this, and we can move on from there. Now, look, this is a table of continents, right? It has some very interesting talk points. Teller Mound, Copper Field, and Indian Field, right? Hold up. If y'all bear with me, I'm gonna find it. Give me a second. I will find what I was looking for. All right, here you go, right here, y'all. Look, y'all in the chat, people listening to this, listen to the diets of the people that was in South Carolina already, right? Now they're saying from 1400 AD to 1600 AD, right? And that's talking about some of the burials, right? So it's saying as a burial, the ceremonial center and contain a total of 265 burials, right? It's saying the majority of these was distributed as the following: a small mound, which is 2.5 feet high to 55 feet wide, spanning both Savannah and Irene times. I don't know exactly what the Irene times are, but I guess that might be a city or might be an area, if you will. 106 burials, right? Two, it's the eighth, the final stratus of a large mound, 6 burials. So it's saying Palisade mortuary, associated with exclusive with the Irene ceramic. Additionally present, let me open this up so listen to this. All right, right here. Additionally present was a rotunda shape composed of 6 concentric circles of wall trenches and post mold. It's saying no mitten accumulation was found in the structure. It's saying, and many of the ceramic entirely Irene was concentrated in pottery. It's saying cast outside the rotunda, right? It's saying similar to the structure to the Creek County houses described in the natural William Brochurin. When we talked about, we went over some of William Brochurin notes in one of my other videos. It's saying a lack of mitten and the presence of pottery. Okay, two people, Caldwell and McCain, said to include that the rotunda likely um functioned as a ceramic structure, conceivably involving the ritual of consainer drinking. Now, I didn't look over that. I don't know what that is, but I'm assuming that it's probably a rule or something of that sort. All right. If anybody know what consainer is, it's CASSINA. All right. So it said on further interest are the investigations of the physical anthropologist Frederick Hals. 62 of the 265 burials was too fragmented for analysis, but the remaining 203, including 74 adults, 70 adult males, no, 74 adult males, 74 adult females, um, 16 adolescents, 38 children or infants were subjected to morphological and metric analysis. Hals arrived at conclusion regarding sexual differences and similarities, as well as aboriginal dietary pattern that are both the interest to present research. He noted that the teeth of the adults, you saying Irene, was badly worn, whatever, and there's no case of a really mature skeleton which does not show teeth wearing ranging from excessive extreme. Let's skip through some of that right there. Let's go right here. I want to get to this part. So it say Hals attributed that the combination of infrequent carries and excessive wear to the diet that was low in carbohydrate and high in grits. Now it's saying it is likely. Now look, it's saying that their diet was low in carbohydrate and high in grits, man, high in grits. Okay, now they're going to tell you, them people, they're going to tell you. So if the culture that was in that region already was eating grits and already was eating the shit that you eating now, how the fuck did that shit come from Africa? And how did, if the Europeans, like, I'm just confused, man, because when I spoke to Queen Quet, I know the history of it. And I'm like, yo, have I read all these articles and read shit that leads me to say that them people was already there or whatever, or they was reconstructed after they was probably the Yamaska, the Tuscarora, who went into Florida or the Gulf or whatever, and then became the Seminoles, and then later came back and found out they was probably from South Carolina, or they had ancestors or people who was in that region. But nonetheless, though, this is in South Carolina. This is the Gitche Gullah people. They saying that the people they found in the mounds ate grits, basically. Now look, it says likely that these people lived on a diet composed of largely shellfish, such as oysters and other seafood. It's saying of shellfish as a significant sample, more latter at the moment. It is of interest to note that holds further conclusions regarding similarities and differences of the Irene skeleton material. It's saying he observed that. Let's go to the next page because it's talking about cranials. Let's go to this one. All right. Hold up. Let me see something real quick. All right. In this area right here, look, in this area right here's all of the other stuff they said they ate, right? Now, Nick, now look, now I know people don't want to admit this shit or not, though, but people in the South eat opossums, raccoons, and beavers. I've seen black people eat beavers, okay? And raccoons and opossums. And I'm not knocking nobody for eating that, because my father used to eat opossum and shit like that or whatever. But I'm just saying though, this is what the Gitche Gula was eating. Now check it out. Let's read some more. Give me a second. Let me find exactly where I want to go. All right, so it says finally, it is of interest to note that the Irene site excavators chose to report their zoo archaeological findings. Admittedly, this is done in tubular form only, but nonetheless presented the developing interest in electing information regarding the prehistorical utilization of the environment. Okay, along the funals remains were white-tailed deer. Now this is what they was eating. White. Now look, you in the South, if you know or you know people eat this, then comment on it, please. White-tailed deer, black bear. People in the South eat black bear. Opossums, particularly in the South Carolina area. Okay, I don't know. In South Carolina, do they have black bears in that area? Opossums, raccoons, beavers, bobcats, turkey, alligator, surgeons, gar, and drumfish, blue crabs, Virginia oysters, and others. Okay? Now, I can pick a few things out of there that I know people eat to this day. I already said I heard people eating black bear, but that's not too common. Opossums, raccoons, turkeys, alligators, blue crab, and oysters. That's stuff that black people eat now. Black people really ain't too far. I don't know people eat oysters like that these days, but definitely alligators and opossums, raccoons, turkeys, blue crabs. All right, I just thought that was something interesting. This is a good book. I'm gonna eventually get done with it. Um, but it's saying, look, sub-eastern coastal plains. All right, so it's telling you what area they're in. This area right here, the same shit that people in the South eat now is the same shit that the Indians was eating then. So I just found that to be real, like for anybody who has any investigational skills or anything, considering the Gitche Gullah and that the wild rice grew in that region. So let me see if there's anything else I want to talk about. Well, this was something about the Anubis fountain in the Oklahoma region, but I don't want to touch on that right now. Let me see. Mm, Yeah, I think that's it for the day, y'all. Until I get some more research. All right. Anybody got any questions? You said you eat a lot of crazy stuff in the South, Ghost. Yeah. All right. I'm just saying but if we ate that, like we have to, because that's telling you what the people eat. Let me see something. My people ate bear. Okay. Everything. You said your people ate bear. They said I eat. Yeah, I mean, look, I know we probably eat oysters, but I never growing up, I never heard of people eating oysters. Some called soul food. They say Africans didn't have exactly. You saying good for I know an oyster. He said oyster. Funny man. Shout out Love Legacy. What's up, my dude? Um Redbirds. Apostle. I know people make gator nuggets, man. Them shits taste like They say gator tastes like catfish or something like that. I might be wrong. I ain't never taste no gator before. I had some frog before. I ain't never had no gator. You said they eat that right now, Lincoln, in Florida. Remember, all of that was Florida. Georgia and all that shit was Florida. Shout out to the chat, man. So what you said, April, say someone in soul food group posted saying bear meat with potato dish. And that shit looked good. That's what I'm saying, though. See, you gotta disguise it. We ain't just gonna eat no anything, man. You ain't gonna bring no damn bear head to the damn table. Niggas gonna be niggas gonna be rubbing their hands like, yeah, I'm about to go in on this. Like niggas will look at this shit like, yo, what the fuck is that? Not eating that shit. Real talk. Deer steak, yeah, venison. Mm-hmm. No doubt. Wild turkeys, yeah. Yeah, hey, look, hey, Empress, no rats. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, niggas just ain't gonna carve up no bear. Niggas is preparing this shit to the T. So when you bring it to the Empress gonna taste it, and then after you tell her, she gonna be like, "This is quite tasty." She ain't gonna look at the shit and then smack the shit out of you. Like, what is this, nigga? And just smack the shit out of you. You bring me a rat with his feet curled up. Come on now. Like nobody rolling like that, especially us. Turtle is good too. You're right about that. Turtle is good too. Mm-hmm. You said Gator delicious, my dude, Sandy Red. All right. Gator nuggets. Yeah, I told you. Gator nuggets, man. I'm saying you had a Gator po' boy. You said a Gator po' boy. See? Look, it tasted like chicken. Yeah, see? No, I listen. Don't get it fucked up. I've heard people who eat gator. I've heard people, and you know the funny thing is too, right? When I was working, right, and this is a little gross or whatever, right? My man, it was a dead opossum in the street, right? And we was work. I swear to God, I never forget this. Real, I mean, I swear to Most High, whatever I have to do to make you believe that this shit is a real story, right? I was working with some Caribbean brothers, right? Because I was working for my city, and it was two Caribbean brothers that worked with us. They grabbed the motherfucking opossum, right? Now we work for the city, so when we went into the warehouse or the garage, it's salt in there. You know, like salt when you put like down for ice. They took the motherfucker opossum and put the bitch in the salt, yo. I swear to God, yo. I swear to God. They took the opossum, I'm a chef, so I know what the salt going to stop the microorganisms from growing. I know that. But I just was like, what? That's some roadkill. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't smelling like shit must have died. They must have seen it when he just died and they caught that motherfucker and put the shit in the salt. Now, if that nigga would have offered me any food from that point on, I probably wouldn't have took it. But it's just, just a story or whatever. But they used to have opossums in cans. Like you can Google can opossums and shit, yo. Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. I mean, you know what though, Michael Williams? Bro, we was out in the woods and we caught a motherfucking alligator. You know what I'm saying? We don't know, bro. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. We won't eat one now because we got an option to go to different or multiple places. But in the South like that, it wasn't no in the South. in the South where these places is at, um, alligators on the menu. People going down and let me get some fried alligator nuggets, man. Let me get some alligator nuggets, some motherfucking probably some damn cornbread and some potato salad and some damn and whatever else. You know what I'm saying? Some greens or something. Shit crazy though. Damn. What you said about Louisiana? Yeah, Louisiana be yeah. I ain't listen. I ain't knocking none of the brothers for eating that shit. Long as that shit don't look like no rat on no stick, we good. Right, Empress. As long as that motherfucker, his arms, his legs ain't curled up and shit, like and motherfucker bring that shit to you like that. See, the only way you gonna eat some shit, or you some only way I want to see some shit like that on the menu if I'm on Fear Factor. Outside of Fear Factor, I should not be seeing no damn hole, no fucking rodent that's just been charred with his fur, with his hair and shit still on, and then you took the nigga and put the nigga on a stick, or you took the nigga before and put the nigga on a stick and then roasted. Like, ew, like really? Like, are you telling me that's where I'm from? Hey, April, listen, nigga, do some motherfucking possum and some squirrel. You went down south over your family house or something. Fucking made some gumbo and threw some of that up in there and slid some of that on your plate, and you all you doing is smelling it like, yo, that shit smell good. You find out 2 days later, and shit, you go in the back, see grandma cutting up the possum and shit, and you be like, what's that, grandma? Oh, this going back in the gumbo next week, and you know what I'm saying? I mean, mm, listen, a possum looks scarier than a rat. I'm not gonna front, but like I said, it's all in the preparation of it. Don't get it wrong. An alligator don't look too appealing either. You know what I'm saying? You see an alligator, you like, yo, I'm gonna fuck them alligator nugget tails up or whatever, man. You know, you ain't looking at that shit like this shit look. You ain't looking at a chicken like that shit look tasty. We ain't looking at none of this shit that it like it look tasty until it's on a plate and it's disguised. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, as a chef, I understand that. Like I've cooked all types of shit, man. You know what white people like a lot? They like this shit called sweet bread, right? Now, sweet bread is the gland of a what the fuck is the gland of a cow? I think it's the gland of a cow. But they like sweet bread. They like sweet bread and they like foie gras. Foie gras. Foie gras is the liver of a duck. What they do is they fucking stick a funnel down a duck mouth and keep feeding, like Method Man said, keep feeding and keep feeding and keep feeding it until the duck liver get fat. They take the duck liver out. You could take it, possibly saute it. With like some what kind of mushrooms is that we be using all the time? The ones that grow on the ground, the ones the pigs got to smell of the dogs. Anybody know? Anybody know off the spot the mushrooms I'm talking about? Sweet. Oh, okay. All right. So you know what sweet bread is. All right. No, not the portobellos. The ones that cost like the ones you get in the jar, the ones you get in the can. Truffles. Truffles. Okay. All right. As soon as I said it, Cosmic Line. Okay. Truffles. Exactly. More rules is something we use too. But I was talking about truffles though. But yeah, exactly. Truffles. Ismail Bay, what up? Mm-hmm. Truffles. Exactly. But nonetheless though, yeah, man. I mean, we already presented it, man. We already presented the information, man. I mean, if you don't believe it was Negroes in America, and you know what I'm saying, we just presented it. We got all of we got The anthropologists, information, and they can say we look like Melanesians, like I said. They can say we look like, because this is what Melanesians look like. So anybody doubting that, Ray, you know you calling me? All right. Yeah. All right. So, I mean, I don't know. We went over Phoenicians in America, which I believe that they was always here. We talked about other people who wrote, who came here and talked about, I mean, well, let me see something real quick. Let's go back here real quick. We talked about the descriptions according to Constantine Samuel, or what he said the people here looked at like. Um, let's go back up real quick before we leave out of here. Oh no, it's down. It's going back up. Very interesting book. When I get off of this, I'm gonna read through some more of this because it has a lot of jewels in here, a lot of information too. A lot. Real quick. Look, I'm actually gonna finish it out with this. Let's finish it out with this. If America has an Aborigine population or Tonchons, men born from the soil, it is there they should be found, driven from the south and their remote climates by ancient colonies of other nations, and they should often feature complexion, languages, and other manners totally different from any other. If all of the Americans derive from ancient colonies, it is still there that ought to be found. The primitive tribes driven out by the subsequent colonies and the tribe. All right, so it talks about the ancestral tribes, if I'm saying it correctly. Let's go down. So now I'm still with y'all. We're gonna get to that point where I was at. We're gonna get a descriptions, and then we can go from there. It has a lot of good information. Though it talks about everybody, the Trussians, the Moors, the Phoenicians, all of the stuff that they found here. Um, all right, so here you go right here. All right, now look, check this out. It's saying, oh, fucking Syrian. All right, there were but few, if any, real savages in America, dwelling in the woods without. Listen to this shit, y'all, and people who just came on there. There were few there were but few, if any, real savages in America, dwelling in the woods without social ties. Most of them wandering tribes or fishermen or hunters. There were formerly in America, as now, tribes of all complexions, as where yellowish, olives. Now, we know olives come in three complexions. We never seen a green person, so we have to make the assumption that they're talking about the brown and black olives. Coppery. We already know what color copper come in. Comes in three different colors. Tawny. You know what tawny mean? Brown. We ain't gonna get into the incarnate and white. It's saying even blackened and Negro like. Okay. Now look, check this out. It says tall and dwarfish men to 8 to 4 feet tall. No, 4 to 8 feet tall, called giants and pygmies. Men of various frames, skulls, and features of all sort found in the Eastern Hemisphere. The America had long. Now listen, I think I seen Ishmael Bain in there. Listen to this. The America had long before Columbus large cities built of stone, brick, woods with wall, ditches, temples, and palaces, such as which the immense size and population is saying one of them, the Ortolum near the Ponlaque, was 28 miles long. Okay, they giving some. It's saying equal to Babylon or kin nodes or whatever. It's saying in size and monuments, nearly all the ancient sciences and useful primitive arts were known in America, as well as commerce and navigation, symbolic, alphabet, writing. Nearly all Asiatic religions is saying that civilized nations had even colleges, universities, canals, paved roads, splendid temples, and monuments. I started with dropping the mic. I'm going to finish with dropping the mic. And with that being said, you already know who this is. You already know what time it is. The information is there. I mean, the U.S. president admit that we are. Yeah, I know that. But to how far? Was it more Aborigine blacks here? Or was it more Africans? According, if you believe that Africans was born here, that's the conversation that I want to be a part of. I don't want to say, oh, they just mixed with these people and oh, these no. Because these articles are what we're reading, even in South America, like we just went in. Because like they're telling you the people in South America resemble sub-Saharan Africans and Melanesians. I ain't gonna say no Australian because I've never seen anyone in South America who look like an Australian, but more likely Melanesians, which we just showed, and sub-Saharan Africans. Okay, now they're not saying they're from there. They're not saying that these people are the same people. They're saying that they look similar or they had similar or the same characteristics as these so-called people. But what we tend to do is, because we see them people over there, we assume that these people came from here and taught us here. Now, one more thing, because they can't teach us shit if this is the case, right? Look, let me see something real quick. What was it at? I believe it was right here. No, it's right here. No, it's the other one. Hold up. This one. No, it's this one. Let me see. And I know some of these don't have sources to where I can really pull them up right now. Don't feel like pulling up or really going deep into it. There's other plenty sources that backs up all this. Let me see something real quick. This one right here, Louisiana, right? Now it's saying Louisiana has a secret to share with you. It's saying the state has the oldest earthen mounds in North America, older than Stone Age or the Great Pyramid. Why would someone make that? Why would someone say that if it wasn't? Because we are under the assumption that Egyptians came here and taught us how to build pyramids when the pyramids in Peru are older than the pyramids in Egypt. So how would that be so? Because they're trying to make a case for the Olmec heads being found over there. We never found no Olmec heads in North America, in Africa. So the Olmecs cannot come here and teach them to do some shit that they was already doing here. So, I mean, that's where I'm at with this, man. I'm with the out of America theory. I'm not with the out of Africa theory. I'm with the out of America theory. I mean, but shout out to everybody in the chat room for the most part. Like I said, man, anybody have any questions, you can always email me, chiefatanchan@l.com. Matter of fact, I'll put it in the description, put in a link. For the most part, so for the most part, I think we covered enough information for the day. Hopefully you guys won't be eating no opossums. If you do, take a picture of them. Take a picture of it and let me see how it look on the plate. Let me see if you threw some parsley and everything on it. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, man. Shout out to my brother Ghost, man. Peace. Shout out to Mr. Dark Brothers, everybody else that's on the mic, that's in the chat room, man. Shout out to all y'all, man. Thank you for always coming through for supporting the videos. And like I said, man, you take the information and use the information, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you need to present it, you need to email me. I can email you any of these documents or any of the literature or any of them so-called scholarly articles about the data and about the findings of what they found here among the people. And like I said, man, we should be looking at each other like, wait a minute. If you saying that the people in South America resemble the people of Southeast or had some, they said Southeast Asia because they're trying to say that. Remember, all them people there are Negroes for the most part. The other Eastern Asians moved in the South, but for the most part, understand this: they should have the same fucking DNA. If they should not. They saying that the Mongoloids or the Northeastern Asia or the North American Indians are different from the South American Indians because South American Indians resemble Melanesians and Sub-Saharan African, but you would think that the people in Melanesian or Southeast Asia will have the same fucking DNA as the people in Eastern Asia. Hmm? Or considering they look like Africans, they will have the same DNA as African because they fucking playing with us with this DNA shit. When you a geneticist, if you got listen, if someone has brown eyes and you take a DNA test with all that shit gonna come up. All that shit gonna come, all the genetic similarities gonna come up in the makeup of your genetic structure, which is your fucking 666 or your carbon pack or your body. All that shit gonna come up. Everything gonna come up. Everything gonna come up. It's gonna come up. It's going your exterior and your interior, and all of the genetics that make up your exterior and your interior is going to make up according to anybody who look or have similar genetics to you. That means everybody on the planet should have the same shit if they all came from Africa. So, like I said, man, let's keep it moving, man. Time to this one. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Shout out to everybody, man. Been another heavyweight jam. I said, you have any questions, email me anytime. We'll be probably doing an encyclopedia with the brothers Jag and AP to run through that because we still have to finish that. And I talked to Chief about doing the Yamasis or doing a video about the Yamasis and I believe the Tuscarora. So like I said, they want to get busy with that. We could do that on spot. But as far as all this other information, if you need any of these articles to present to anybody or you really need the information, just email me. I mean, it's too much shit to put in the description link to put it in the description already. And you already know I ain't even fancy like that these days. I'm just keeping it moving. But for the most part, the information's out there. You want to email me, I'm more than likely I'll send it to you. And like I said, sorry if I don't respond to your emails all the time directly. I try to respond to everybody email, and mostly everybody who has emailed me know I will email you back. So, like I said, just bear with the God. Trying to get it together. Just one individual. For the most part, man, take the information, man, and just like do your ancestry and go from there, man. Peace to everybody, man. Peace to all the Aborigines. Peace to all the brothers, all the Indians, all the Moors, the Hebrews, all the brothers. Anybody who try to obtain a higher information or at least put the footwork to do the research, man. Shout out to all y'all. With that being said, you already know what it is. I'm out of here. Peace, y'all.